cares all the time.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
I'm not
There we
under
go.
any limit.
All right.
So.
I think we're live up in here.
Let's see.
In here. Sorry. Yep. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Juices Loose podcast, the Game of the Year 2020 podcast. In February, this is the latest we've ever done it, February 1st. But I honestly needed another week. There's a game I just didn't quite get to beat the story, and I had to just put it on the list.
Just too good. Just too good.
I just honestly, so what's up, everybody? It was all the shit I did with my PC that I wasted not wasted, but it took up a weekend. The previous weekend, I spent a lot of time messing with that, and I actually did need a break because I don't like to what do they call it when a game company crunch? I don't like to crunch a game. You know. I need to take a break, and I came back in a better place. So I don't know, like, I know Robert, you went through like The Last of Us Part 2 in like a day.
It was like 3 days.
But I feel for reviewers who have to cram like Doom Eternal. I remember Electric Playground. He said he played it like in basically 2 nights. I'm like, man, he said it was probably too much overload to do it that way, but anyway, this is our top 5 games of 2020 plus 5 subcategories, and we're also gonna have a little competition. I asked you guys to predict what my number 1 game of the year was gonna be.
Jesus Christ!
And you're gonna get a point based on what game you guessed, where it landed on my top 5. So if you guess right, you get 5 points. If you guessed my number 2, you get 4 points. 3 gets 3 points, so on and so forth. So for 5 through 2, I'm going to start with a very vague hint. I'm going to give 3 hints, and then you guys are going to have to be in the on the Hangouts DM thing, so have that open. And if you think after my first vague hint that you know the answer, send it to me, and then turn your camera off so I know you've submitted. Okay. If you get that right, if you're right, you'll get 3 points. But if you're wrong, you get -3 points. So the next one, I'll give a second hint that's a little more specific to maybe it covers 1 or 2 games. You can guess at that point and either win 2 or lose 2, and then the third hint will be pretty specific to that game, and I feel pretty confident you'll get it based on that. So your strategy is going to be: do you risk it for the more points if you're confident, or you just wait for that final hint? So we'll try to.
So for every game, you're going to give 3 hints, and the less hints we use, the more points we get.
Yep.
Okay. I get it.
So I'll say, let's say if this was last year, get to number 2, and I said, this game has a world where you have to get new abilities to access new areas or something, and you would have been like, I don't know that one, and then maybe move on to the next one. But if you did, just type the number 3 if it's the first guess and what your answer is, and then.
So I guess we use the private chat.
Use the Hangouts private chat. Yeah. So and then when I reveal it, and then we'll see what the points are. So and then the end result. I don't know if you guys. I think this will be fun, but if the winner will pick a game that I have never played, and I'll have to play it and beat it this year.
Nice. Hey, that's cool.
The only stipulations I said, it has to be easily obtainable, via PC, Switch, PS4, the usuals. I'm not going to whip out my Super NES or something to play it and try to track the game down.
But what if it's on the Switch Online,
Well, I guess I'll get the Switch Online. But the other part of it,
now it has to be on the Switch Online.
The other stipulation is it has to be a game that has a ending, so I know I could just go play it and beat it. If it's just a never-ending game, then it's like I'm going to be less motivated to, like, if someone was like, World of Warcraft, I want you to play World of Warcraft. No,
or Animal Crossing.
I guess Animal Crossing too.
Animal Crossing ends once KK starts.
Oh, that's
singing,
true. That's true.
so
Technically, this
it has credits.
Credits.
That's right. Yeah,
Is that
is
enough
right.
to keep me driven forward to finish the game, though?
No.
It wouldn't take you long to get to the credits, but it has
Yeah,
credits.
you're there pretty fast.
So it'll be up to you if you want to torture me with a
know.
game genre.
These
You
rules
know, I
sound a
hate.
little bit. They sound a little bit in your favor.
Well, I just want to be able to play a game and know that I want to
Damn.
know that I finished the game and say, hey, I beat the game. So
It's called an
I
agenda.
take it off, you know. Because where do you draw the line on Animal Crossing? Where do you draw the line?
Maybe do something like Side Force.
So it's up to you. Do you want to make it be
I
just a
wouldn't do
terrible
that.
game, or maybe?
Where you draw the line on Animal Crossing is simply when you fully upgrade your house. That's where you draw the line.
But you could do that honestly.
Shit, I did that on the 3DS in like a couple weeks that I played New
You
Leaf.
fully upgraded like every single.
I don't know.
Every single.
I felt like I
Probably
had
not.
upgraded, but probably not.
Nah, probably not.
I had it paid off, and I had like a bigger
I was
house.
gonna say,
But...
how much were you playing?
Nah,
that
well
shit?
you could pay it off again and again like multiple
Okay.
times.
All right, so we're gonna
Oh, you
start.
only paid it off once? That ain't shit.
Well, I paid it off, then I
called a
expanded
mortgage.
to a bigger house.
Okay, yeah, no.
So, just this is not a serious. This is one of the side things. If anybody wants to give the award to best waifu of 2020,
Oh, I forgot.
I thought of Robert for this one because I know you were pretty.
Is this a new one? I didn't know this one.
I just
Yeah, he
threw it
dropped
out
it
there.
on
It's
us.
not
He
a
dropped
serious
it.
one.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah, but that's a big one, yo.
Yes,
Come on.
waifu.
oh man.
Can it be? It has to be of this year, obviously.
whatever. Just
Yeah.
off the top of your head, like I would say for me it was Jill Valentine.
Oh shit! Yes, yeah. Jill's.
It's not waifu material for me.
What? Come on, Jill's on the list, yo.
Her old design was. Her new design, I'm like hit or miss with. Let's see.
Oh man, that's tough,
Terrell's
yo.
I didn't think this would be such.
I literally, I'm racking my brain, and I'm like, who the
I
fuck?
just think about it.
Well,
Well, let's.
parameters.
I don't. Just
For a
whatever.
year, or-
I thought it was just this year. That's what
Yeah.
I thought
Oh.
the parameter was.
Waifu of
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
My oh man, it's tough, yeah. Well,
Yeah, I'm dead ass. I
Oh,
can't.
Okay,
man.
we'll move on to the one you guys already had, planned.
or
out.
well, hold on. Let me say. I'll say my waifu is, if it's from this year, I'll say Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2.
Ew. Boo.
I just off the top of my
Fuck
head,
you.
I will go with the new character model of Charlotte in the Xenoblade remake. Okay, I think they done her
I
well.
want wait. Well, I don't want to say Jill Valentine because that's Juices. If I could take it also, I'll say if we can share.
That's called DP, buddy. We don't talk about that. It's called double
No, if we're
penetration.
leaving the human race, I'm gonna go with Mifa as my backup. In Age of
Oh
Calamity.
man,
I didn't want to include Zelda, but if I had to,
fucking high reward people. Jeez,
I didn't want to
that's true.
include Zelda.
No, you know what? No.
It's
I'm gonna
Urbosa. It's Urbosa all day then.
I'm gonna say Shantae from Shantae the Seven
Man.
Sirens, Joe.
Shantae flips with me between if you go
Bro,
pick
like those
So we
character
got-
designs
if
are
you
We got
pick a
Fiora.
Shantae girl, you pick
We
risky.
got
Boots. You don't pick-
Pyra, wasn't it?
you
Pyra.
risky. Well,
Do we
oh,
count that? I don't think we count that, do we?
Wasn't it
Yeah,
Pyra?
man. That it was technically,
Because Pyra isn't 2020.
No, I
It's
think you meant
Pyra.
Pura.
No,
I think you meant
Pyra.
Pura from.
Oh
Pura
no!
from,
No! I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No.
Oh shit.
No, it's Impa. It's all day.
Nah, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm
Impa's
gonna go with.
Yeah, Impa's pretty.
Yeah, Lynch, you couldn't even.
I'm
I actually got to
with-
give Phoenix from Immortals some love too.
She look-
I was gonna
look-
say Juice's pick is Phoenix, bet.
Yeah. The fire is strong with this one.
I don't know, yo. I'll have to say one of those.
Okay.
Jill or Shantae.
All right.
Or
So
Let's try.
let's get on to the first subcategory, and we'll go in order of how you guys appear on my screen here. So clocked it. We'll start, and then we'll work our way back just like we always do. So biggest gaming disappointment of 2020. So it can be a game, it can be an announcement, it can be a company, anything. So clocked it. Take us away. What was your biggest gaming disappointment? Of
I
2020?
had to write down 3 on here, right? So the first one was Cyberpunk. The second one was Panzer Dragoon remake, and the third one was Warcraft 3 Reforged. And after I gave it some deep thought, I decided to go with Warcraft 3.
That's surprising.
So Warcraft 3 for me was the biggest disappointment because it just showed once again that decline of the Blizzard I grew up with and I loved. Warcraft 3 is one of my favorite real-time strategies ever. And what they've done to this game was just absolutely appalling. And to make it even worse is that I know that they're also remaking Diablo 2, which is one of my favorite games ever, and I just don't want it. I don't want Diablo 2 remake whatsoever. They missed out on like other stuff as well on Warcraft 3. There's this one major scene where Arthas fights Illidan, and in the original game they ran out of time, so they had to have the cutscene in game, and all the other cutscenes were in CGI. So you come to this time, and they still don't fucking do it in CGI, and the cutscene looks worse
than it did
cinematography-wise than it did before. And
Wow.
they took stuff away, and even now when you load up Warcraft 3 through Blizzard's Battle.net, you cannot play the original Warcraft 3 as it was anymore now. They've set it up so you can only play Warcraft 3 Forge with some of the menus removed and everything. You can still play the old art style, but menu-wise and feature-wise, they've taken stuff away from the community, and it's my most disappointed just because of the studio, what they fucking did. So,
all right, we'll have to make these a little shorter too, because last year we were at like number 5, we were hour in. So Robert, Robert, what's your biggest disappointment?
My biggest disappointment of 2020 was no E3. That is pretty big for me. You know, I love E3. I love the week long of just gaming. You know, everyone coming together. Not no damn Summer Game Fest. You get some little info here and there. No, you get a week of press conferences and executives just trying to do shit, and it's a lot of fun. And I love seeing all the trailers and the audience and being there. It was great.
Even a digital one.
Yeah, they should have. I mean, Jeff Keighley's whatever he threw together was trash.
Whatever he threw together was not actually anything. So, but that's definitely it. E3. Hopefully it's here this year, but probably doesn't look like it.
So you guys think I should just keep going left to right? Move down row, go left to right, or kind of snake around? So go retro next or go T next?
Well, you could randomly do it. You could have a random button and just randomly.
No, I want to be able to keep track of who's going.
I mean, it's fine. Whichever's easiest for you.
Whatever's easy for you.
Whichever's easiest for you.
I'm gonna do the snake. So retro death will be next. Why don't you give us?
Mine is just pretty short. I feel that's something Robert and I really share. We just, even if it's bad, we just enjoy those conferences. My biggest disappointment is also no E3. And I don't like the idea that we might have had an incredible Nintendo Direct and it was broken into pieces and just trolled throughout 2020 and shit. And I try to watch all of them. I like what Bethesda does. And even the garbage that Ubisoft usually does with the stupid Just Dance stuff, I still have more hope recently in Ubisoft because they've done some great shit in the past 2 years, and it broke my heart that they just didn't have a decent E3. And I honestly think there was no real reason not to have one. But yeah, that without a doubt, like I didn't even have to think when I read your question. It's like I read the question and I instantly wrote down E3 as I was reading it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That was me too. All
right, T, what was your disappointment?
My biggest disappointment is no Nintendo Switch Pro. That's not even a troll. Let me tell you why.
Seriously.
Because it's not even that I'm looking for a Switch Pro. I need a Switch Pro because I really don't. It's the fact that 2020 was the last year it probably should have come out. If it comes out any later than that, it's a fail to me because at this time we should be looking at a new console for Nintendo. Rumors about a new console, not an upgrade or a revision of the current console. That is completely breaking Nintendo's own cycle, which I don't like. And it's just like, it's too late at this point. We're headed, in March, we're going into the 5th year of the Switch, and nobody on the planet thinks the Switch is going to last another, 4 years or so. I mean, that's just, it's not going to. Not in a leading factors.
Nobody on the planet. I do it though.
Retro thinks it. I mean, it can exist, but anyway,
Europe
let's
isn't
not
a
get into
planet.
that.
Yeah, it'll exist the same way the 3DS existed for the last few years.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
It'll
So
exist in that capacity.
2020. I'm not gonna take the easy one for me. The one thing I've been harping on. Is just, but it was definitely a candidate was Nintendo's new games of quality, not just ones I like, but just Nintendo outputting what they used to do with handheld and home consoles combined. But the biggest disappointment for me was 3D All-Stars and the lack of effort put into it. It's one of those things where people did leak and rumor a remaster of a remake of 64, and I kind of let that hope or that idea, seep into my mind. So when it was just a pretty bare emulated, version of the game, 720, no widescreen, 30 frames, it's just like, it just wasn't what Mario deserved. The fact that Galaxy 2 wasn't there, or 3D Land, it's just like completely lack of effort. And you look at, Gears of War is not like this top tier. It's a bigger franchise, but for what they did remaking Gears 1 and Halo got a full remake, you could switch back and forth between the old visuals and the new right on the fly. Like something like that for Mario 64 just seems like what it deserves. So for me, it was 3D All-Stars. Just the
That's
overall
actually
package.
a great one. I don't know if it was T or Robert who made the point, but considering what Rare Replay was,
Yeah.
and then Nintendo does this, it was a god awful thing. I definitely agree.
All right, Terrell.
It was T who brought up Rare Replay. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my biggest gaming disappointment of 2020, because I flipped through a few things and I decided to pick a game, and it's more of what the game represents than the game itself. Although I have my issues very much with the game. Final Fantasy VII Remake, that was my biggest disappointment. I think it was my disappointment because it very much showed, especially now after seeing, if this was before we had saw the trailer for Final Fantasy 16, that we're on that complete like westernization bullshit of big budget RPGs again. Square splitting up a game and selling it to you in pieces. They didn't even fucking want to tell nobody that the game was a reimagining. You had to literally buy the game and find out the hard way that, oh yeah, you just spent $60 for a reimagining of Final Fantasy VII story. And it's not something in the grand scheme of things. It's not something by the game in itself. It's just Square taking advantage of its consumers again. But like in the grand scheme of things, considering this is going to be a saga, like everything else with Square, it's going to run itself into the ground for the next 5 years. And I'm going to absolutely hate it. And someone's going to be in the back talking about, Final Fantasy VII was better when it was split up into parts. And I'm going to be like, you got 3 discs and it was a whole fucking story.
There's going to be PlayStation 6 before that thing.
Well, that's done.
I still got that flyer saved, man. I'm telling you. I still got that flyer saved.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's just get into the number 5 here. Let's not linger on. We could discuss it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with, just so people know. Yeah, it really shrunk it down, but so everybody knows we're on, the number 5.
We're tiny.
I just figure if somebody's watching this, they jump in, they know, and then I'll switch it to 4 when we get to that. So Terrell, you get to start us off with your number 5. Did you come up? Did you have a number 5? Let me ask.
Okay, so here's the situation. My number 5 actually is a 2020 game, but as we go down my list, things will get finagled and there'll be some technicalities.
That's whatever you wanted to throw together, honestly.
So just throw it so number 5 for me is Shantae in the 7 Sirens. I know we don't want to drag out our things, so I'm not gonna make this too long. Shantae and the 7 Sirens is still a really fun game. Is a fun like Metroidvania game. The biggest problem it kind of has is that it's just kind of samey. But I really appreciate the fact that they try. There are minor improvements, and I appreciate them finally trying to get the transformations to button presses instead of hold the fucking dance button and then do this combination of buttons, and then I can turn into an elephant, to break a wall, then to turn back and then hold the dance button again to turn to a goddamn monkey to climb the rest of the way. Like, that shit's slow. I'll give them props for finally fucking tying everything to buttons. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that it was split up as an episodic release on Apple Arcade initially, but I think the final product is still a good time, all things considered. I just wish its release was handled better.
All right, so now we're getting into the game. So get your Hangouts on whatever device. So I'm gonna give my hint, and then turn your camera off. If
you get more points if you don't want a hint.
If you want to just throw it out there, you can. I'll give you 4.
This is the only one where I don't.
But you'd lose 4 if you get it wrong.
Points.
You'll
okay, I'll do that.
Okay, and just to quickly reiterate, this is we send you if we make a guess, we send you the guess. Cut off our camera so you know that we sent you a guess. Okay, all right.
What about when we technically already sent you a guess? But it's just
that was the number 1.
That's for number.
Right?
This is for number 5. I'm gonna give you the number, the hint.
Okay.
And if you want to guess after this hint, I think Retro's guessing now. All right, is that confirmed?
I'm waiting for the hint. Yeah, I'm waiting for the hint.
I just done it.
Okay. Turn your camera off.
Cut your camera off.
How can you guess already when you haven't even had any?
He's risking it.
I bet it all.
He's risking it.
Okay,
for the biscuit, baby.
So number 3 hint is this game is a sequel. Anybody gonna guess after that?
I have an idea, but I don't know.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah. Send it to you right here.
I'm gonna guess too. I'm sending it to you.
Man, I'm fuck this, man. Y'all ain't gonna get me with peer pressure, man.
Hey, they could be losing points right now. They're risking it.
I'm not risking it. Fuck that.
Maybe not.
I'm trying to think. I'm
gonna wait.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about it.
That sheep mentality to get your ass in trouble.
I've sent mine. Let me turn my camera off.
All right, I just sent it.
Okay.
Just turned it off. I'm out.
And just to reiterate, the first hint applies to more than one game. It's not just this game specific, so it's a more general hint.
Yeah,
all right, number 2 had the most frustrating section of any game I played in 2020.
Fuck, no,
oh shit! I get what we were doing. I fucked up probably.
I'm kind of still with my guess. It's cool.
Just to make sure I got this right, this is your number 5.
I honestly
This is the number 5 game. Yep, and this is the second of 3 hints.
It has the most.
So if you guess now, it's +2 or -2 if you get it wrong.
I'm gonna guess now.
I don't know.
But there's like I said, there's a strategy. You could wait.
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, I
get that for sure.
I don't feel confident enough to do that.
Okay.
No, me neither.
Number 1, or the last hint. It's the game I didn't know I wanted until it was announced.
Oh shit!
I got it.
Oh, wait a minute!
I must have it.
God,
I'm gonna take my guess.
Oh man, that's.
I'm gonna take my guess. I don't. I'm paranoid that I'm wrong.
Let's go.
So.
Hold on.
Can we come back? Can we come back on camera?
Hold on. I'm gonna put my guess in and then hide my camera. All right.
Oh, this is bull horse.
Yeah, we must.
I'll say somebody has it right.
Yeah,
all right,
me, that's for sure. Yeah.
Wait for T.
Sexy chocolate.
Oh man. God damn it.
Okay.
Oh.
Retro's without hints. He's feeling pretty dumb right now. All right, turn your cameras back on. Number 5 game of 2020 for me. Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors.
Wow, I thought that would be so much fucking harder. God.
5 points or 3 points, I mean.
Really?
Wow.
I held out.
I'm curious to know what section frustrated you.
That was
Divine Beast.
That later if you don't.
Divine Beast.
That was the only part I wasn't sure about.
-4.
Really? That frustrated you?
Yeah, especially the replaying them. Like, it was the worst experience I had.
I didn't even replay them though. They were different.
I would have never guessed that. You could have gave me 5 more guesses.
You waited to the end, right?
That's why I waited. That's why I waited.
Robert, when did you guess? First hint? Yeah. So you're -3.
I was so convinced
I
because
guess
there's no way I would ever think you had Age of Calamity so low.
Me too.
Well,
too.
here's
I thought
why.
That was higher.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the story, but I guess I didn't want to. I should have set this up a little bit. All 5 of the games in my top 5 could have easily been my game of the year. So what I had to do is I had to find the negatives or nitpicks in each game and tally those up and kind of. So when it came down to it, like I said, I beat the game. I enjoyed it after everybody's beat the game here, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert.
Oh,
fuck. Well, there's a.
You want me to remove my thing?
Just take your earbud out for a second. When fucking Prince Sidon comes and saves Mifa, man, I thought this is the best game I'm played this year. I was fucking in love with the game. You're good, Robert.
I almost cried.
I was just like that. I was like, this is my game of the year at that point, and then I was like, I kept playing.
I was floored.
I liked
Did
the
you
ending.
say you were not gonna pick it up originally?
No.
Ooh.
I said it's a game I didn't know I wanted until it was announced.
Yep.
Yeah,
that should have told me, but I was like, "There's no way."
That was the key.
So,
because I wasn't sure about the whole frustrating section part. So I'm like,
yeah,
right, I was that threw me off, and the fact it was 5 that threw me off. I'm like,
yeah, I was going through.
I thought
that's
Same
true.
here.
Those two hints. I thought, well, still The Last of Us 2, man. You know, he could have. Something could have annoyed him. No one asked for Last of Us 2.
I thought the sequel would fool you guys, saying it was. I mean, because 4 of my. Yeah, I won't. Never mind. There are other sequels on the list. There are other sequels on the list. But it just boiled down to I was frustrated with those sections. The post game.
Both games grind.
Got a little bit grindy, tedious, but then just some of the performance issues and stuff. I mean, like I'm saying, this I enjoyed it enough.
So did you do the repair? I'll just call it that.
I didn't get all that done yet. I want to, but I didn't get it done. So yeah, that's my number 5. So Retro Death. Is that, or did it switch up?
No.
Oh, because it moved me. It should be T.
I think it's because you got your stream.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to go to Retro. We're gonna have to go to Retro Death, so it's easier.
Okay, no problem. So my number 1, 2, 3, and 4 were gonna be in this list no matter what. But if I had played more games, I know the 5th one wouldn't have been in there, but I can put it in there. So on number 5, even though I do love the game and I played it a lot, I thought it was an incredibly cool concept. I had so much fun with it. My number 5 game is Fall Guys. When that shit was announced, I thought, yes, this is like a battle royale game for me. Platforming, it's hilarious. I had so much fun with it. It's not a bad game, but I know better shit came out that I know I haven't played, that I 100% without even playing, I would have put on 5th place above this game.
Don't put the Fall Guys down. You're sorry.
No, like I said, I have so much
It's
fun.
called Fall Guys for a
incredible
reason,
concept.
guys.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
that's my number 5.
All right, T, what's your number 5?
Oh, game?
Yeah.
Let me.
No, wifey.
I want your number 5 bits, man.
So confused. I got a lot of shit going on here. All right, so number 5. Are you ready to be surprised?
No.
I have no idea.
Dream can. Number 5 is Dreams for PS4. It's kind of a cheat because I don't really look at this like a game. I use it more as an application, and it's super inspiring because there are a lot of people that just that do animations, like they do short films in Dreams, and I just think that's freaking amazing. I wish I would have had something like this when I was in film school because it would have been a perfect tool for doing storyboards. It would have been way easier, super cheap. You know, it's a $40 game, and if I could have had something like this, it would have been amazing. But I'm gonna be doing so many cool things, movie related, not video game related, in Dreams. So that's my.
Have you tried some stuff like that already? Just messed around with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've messed around a lot in it. I'm working on some stuff.
That's awesome.
My book actually.
Well, I'll definitely be playing that.
Nice pick.
All right, so Robert, what's your number 5?
All right. Well, I've said in the chat before, I've been flip-flopping a million times on this number 5. You'll know my honorable mention would have been number 5, but I think I'm going to have to just go with this. And my number 5 game of the year for 2020 is Spiritfarer. Spiritfarer is fantastic, man. The characters that are it's wonderful. The dialogue makes you cry. The music is fantastic, and just being this essentially almost Grim Reaper like character and listening to their tasks and building up your ship, and then eventually letting them go. It really, really hits you in the heart, and it's fantastic. I absolutely loved it, and that's my number 5.
Nice.
Spiritfarer.
I haven't seen much other than maybe the trailer as far as the gameplay, so I don't know much about that one. But on to Mr. Clocked It there. What's your number 5?
Yeah, my number 5 was a very last-minute game, and I played it with my daughter, played it by myself, and I just absolutely fucking loved it. It was based off one of the books I grew up with called Death Trap Dungeon. That's Ian Livingstone. They released a PlayStation 1 game, which was absolutely fucking trash. I was gutted. And it is Death Trap Dungeon, the interactive game, which is on PC. It's narrated by Eddie Marsden. You might know the actor. He's in stuff like Sherlock Holmes. He's like the police sergeant in he's in Atomic Blonde. He's one of the conspiracy guys in there and stuff. But he's a great actor. But he's just sitting there in a dungeon type setting, and it's proper Dungeons and Dragons. And it's not the best game in the world because it is just narration, and you roll your dice and you choose your path through the story and stuff. But because I grew up with the story, just nostalgia-wise, fucking hell, it was amazing. And I sat there with my daughter, and she was crapping herself, making choices. Do you open this door? Do you go down this corridor and stuff? Do you drink this water that you see dripping from here? All that type of stuff. Fucking loved it. And I was playing it non-stop, and then my PC died, so I was gutted. But just off that experience,
Nice.
I chucked it in the last minute.
All right, so now that we went through our 5, I'm going to take that off the screen just so people know. Now we're going to get into biggest/best surprise. So if you want to, again, make it about a game announcement or anything gaming related in 2020. So Clocked It, you'll start us off.
You said your biggest or best can be one game each or whatever.
Yeah.
So I do have 2 choices, but I do have a number 1. My second choice is Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which is like that spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio. The soundtrack's being done by Hideki Naganuma, who done the soundtrack to Jet Set Radio. So I'm looking forward to that. But my main one is Ayuden Chronicles, 100 Heroes, which is a spiritual successor to Suikoden. And it's being done by a lot of the original team who left Konami. It looks absolutely fucking stunning.
It looks
stunning as an RPG. Absolutely, it's got 2D sprites which just look absolutely gorgeous, but with a 3D background that's spinning around. Oh, like I can't wait.
It does
so
that like what's the game on Game Boy Advance called? The Golden Sun.
Golden Sun,
yeah.
exactly
really
that same
cool.
spinning type of battle system, exactly. But those are the same type of guys, like who from that era, who made those type of RPGs. So yeah, Ayuden Chronicles, I cannot wait for. So that was my biggest surprise to actually see a spiritual successor to Suikoden, which actually was developed by Konami, and we spoke about Konami earlier. We just don't make shit right now. So, yeah.
All right, Robert, is it your biggest or best? Specify.
So I put my biggest surprise, I would say. It's so okay. Actually, I guess I could do one for each. That kind of works. So I said my biggest surprise would be Fall Guys, because I never been too big into battle royale games, but when they made a platforming battle royale for Fall Guys, it's an absolute blast, and I could play it for hours and just have fun with it. It's a really good game with awesome music, by the way. Really damn solid.
Yeah.
And
very Splatoon-like.
Yeah, it's very Splatoon-like. I really like the Fall Guys soundtrack. And then also Spiritfarer would be my best surprise of 2020, which a new IP, just an indie game that just showed up on I think it was it might have been in one of the Nindy showcases.
It was I think it was at E3 actually. I'm sure it was.
It E3? It was just something. And I remember I was like, yeah, I mean, it was literally like I'll probably pick it up. I like the art style. I picked it up and just fell in love with it. like I said, it makes me cry. Yeah, so if the game makes me cry, it's probably good. So, and so yeah,
it did look beautiful.
It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of heart, and best surprise of 2020 for sure.
All right, to you, nice. To your next biggest or best / or both.
Biggest surprise, is that Nintendo Switch Online still hasn't done a gut. No, that's not a surprise.
Least surprising.
Yeah, biggest surprise is the debacle that was Cyberpunk 2077. I was genuinely surprised, and even the biggest hater couldn't realistically tell you that they knew that was going to happen the way it happened. Although there are a lot of people running around, I knew this. No, you didn't. Stop lying. It's annoying. Best surprise is Animal Crossing New Leaf. The outstanding success. Or New Leaf. Look at me. New Horizon. Sorry. I was like, Nintendo with the news, man. They just messed me up. New Horizons. Sorry. The crazy runaway success that it was, how it perfectly fell in a terrible time, and it got very successful based off of that, and still trying to fight for that #1 spot. I'm sure it'll get it.
It'll get there.
Yeah, it needs to. Not that it'll matter because so number 2 will still be in the 30 millions.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's gonna be any kind of victory.
That's gonna outsell fucking anyway. But anyway, yeah. Let's go to Retro Death's biggest best surprise of 2020.
I don't know what the difference is between biggest or best. Like I don't know what you mean, but like
something that was like a surprise, but it was like, this is the best thing ever. Another thing that's like, this is just huge. I never saw this coming. I guess it could be the both. I guess it's kind of the same thing. I guess you're right.
More than the best for me. It's also a new, because it's something I've been literally waiting for since the fucking 64. That most of us thought was going to happen on the Wii U, and that didn't happen. It's the announcement of new Pokemon Snap. I'm so happy. Like I legit love that 64 game, and when they announced it, that was for me like a gasping moment. Like holy shit, it's finally coming. So definitely Pokemon Snap.
All right, so mine was the game that I just said is my number 5, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity announcement. Didn't see it coming. Didn't think I wanted it. Another Hyrule Warriors game, and for it to be a prequel of sorts to Breath of the Wild, it's just no way. I mean, that's biggest and best, I guess. At this, it took me by surprise, and it turned out to be a great game. So that's definitely mine. What about you, Terrell?
Mine's was a game announcement. It was a franchise that I've loved. It's one of my favorite games on the DS. So the announcement of not only its anime, but its fucking sequel series, that had me over the motherfucking moon. And that is when Neo: The World Ends With You was announced. A game that for the longest time I didn't even think they were going to put a sequel out to, because the last time we heard any fucking thing, it was a port for the Switch version, and before that, it was a port to the fucking phones. And I was just like, and I'm sitting here and I see that announcement trailer, I see the fucking anime adaptation. I'm just like, yes. So that one, that's definitely my highlight for 2020. That's my biggest surprise.
Good choice.
All right, so now we're on to number 4. Game of 2020. Terrell, why don't you take it away?
Okay, just want to double check. Okay, so this one actually is a 2020 game, so we don't have I'm not finagling shit yet. It's Resident Evil 3 remake. That's my number 4. I wanted to put it higher. I think that's like my biggest sad thing, is I wanted to put it higher. And I think the beginning of Resident Evil 3 is fucking great. I think that beginning section is it's like Resident Evil 2, but like expanded upon it. I fucking loved it. But man, the latter half of that game, it's not bad. I want to put it in context. It's not bad, but to me it felt like a drop off, because I like the cool puzzle solving elements, and I like the fact that you were kind of like still doing, you grab this to go get this, they backtrack to open up a door, and then you get an upgrade or you get a hip pouch. It was cool, and then you get to the last half of the game where it kind of borderline turns into an action movie, which it's still fun, but it kind of takes away from the puzzle element of Resident Evil, which I didn't know I wanted as much until I didn't have it anymore.
Just imagine, just imagine if they had another year, to work on the game.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I feel like that game has a lot of missed potential in it, and I think that's the reason why I couldn't put it higher.
All right, so
I have a question for your game, Juice, before you start. Because you made us all choose one game already. But what if you say something and I'm like, wait, but this is going to be game?
Yeah, that was just a pre-guess. That was just to give you guys some.
Okay, so
points.
I can change. Okay,
because if I get down to give my number 2, then you're all going to know my number 1. So I wanted.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So okay, same thing as before. My number 4. I'm gonna give the first hint, but this time when you message me, put, if it's the first hint, put a 3 so I know what points you're gonna get, plus or minus. If it's a second hint, put a 2. If you wait till the last hint, put a 1.
Yeah, that's what I did anyway, so that you knew.
So, and we're not gonna do a pre-hint thing. So again, the first hint is very, it covers more than one game on my list. It's more of a vague hint, so it's it's more of a. I could have been a little more specific with it, but it got a little hard to come up with these. So, first hint is this game has amazing controls. Anyone? No,
I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna guess.
I'm done with risking it, yo.
I can't risk it. No,
so put a 3.
I'd do it. And if I
risk it, no biscuit.
Yeah,
it's too vague. It's too vague.
And I'm going for the ultimate epic fail now because I'm already down -3. So why not?
It's a good strategy. Second hint: this game is both technically and artistically very solid, like really good, great, I would say.
Fuck.
Okay,
nah, I can't.
That's not enough.
Still feeling a little confident.
Still not enough.
That's not enough.
What the hell is my computer doing?
I'm
going. What
Wait,
is this?
give me a second to see if
That's number 2.
That's number 2.
That's 2.
Okay, I have to wait till the third hint.
Yeah, I'm not confident in that one.
I'm gonna send you mine.
Okay.
I hate the second one was.
Nighty.
I hate that Juice's second hint is been bad on both times, and it angers me.
It's Fabio Guave. Sorry, that was random.
Retro's typing. Just turn your camera off now, so I know.
Turn your camera off, Retro.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Last hint.
Don't want to see your face.
My eyeballs couldn't handle longer play sessions of this game.
Oh, what?
Fuck.
What?
God damn.
I'm still.
It was straining my eyeballs to play it for.
I'm still feeling it.
Eyeballs. What the fuck?
I reckon I'm back to 0.
I'm not even confident in this one.
Yeah, I don't even.
I reckon I'm back to 0.
Couldn't handle long play sessions. Let's just say that.
You couldn't handle long play sessions.
My eyeballs were
We
bugging.
talked about this.
Fuck it, I don't know. Maybe.
I know we did, and I completely fucking forgot.
Eyeballs were bugging.
I'm gonna just type it in there, and I'm gonna be fucking wrong, bro.
I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm 100% wrong.
We'll just say
I'm 100%.
my
right.
eyeballs were getting ripped and torn.
Ah!
So
That's not fair.
I know they already guessed. They already guessed. All right, everyone guessed. So Doom Eternal, number 4. Terrell,
Damn.
+1.
I guess like a motherfucker.
I should have waited one more hint.
Clocked it +3.
Baby.
Clocked it +3. He guessed it.
And I
Nice.
freeballed it.
Nice.
And that's crazy. Fuck.
Back to 0.
Robert, when
baby.
did you guess after the last hint?
I did the last hint.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Doom Eternal.
See, I've also made another mistake now. God damn.
That was a good guess there, Clocked it based on the first hint, man. Because I have repeatedly said how amazing the controls are in that game. But also another game had great controls. But anyway, the reason it ended up at number 4, because for the longest time I just had it set it was going to be number 2. This weekend I went back and replayed all the games in my top 5. And one of the things that kind of surprised me I kind of feel bad just talking about the thing that got it down the list, because I mean it's such a great game, but it, as much as I love like the use of colors and the HDR, it still kind of has a sterile look to it. I went back and played the first Doom, and that's just got this grittier. It just feels a little bit more Doom-like, I guess. So the one thing going back to Doom Eternal, I was like, man, this really doesn't. A couple of these stages, it really just doesn't feel like a Doom game. It's a minor thing, but it just plays so well. The controls. There's some platforming sections that are pretty frustrating. It's just too easy to fail, and then you kind of got to wait for these things to get back up. Other than that, I mean, music's amazing. The action is so intense. Like I said, I literally like an hour was like max of playing that game before. Like I definitely felt like eye strain. I really enjoyed it though. The end boss is just crazy with everything going on, and played it on one above the default difficulty. I forget what it's called. And I really enjoyed that game. So
no, that's hurt me plenty.
Yeah. All right, Retro, what's your number 4?
I should have gone with my initial impressions when I was doing that list for you, man. And fuck left.
Yeah, you're not doing too well.
So my number 4 is actually
Dreams. Damn.
I have it on 4.
Wow.
And it would not have gone higher, even if I played anything else. I mean, lower on the list.
Two surprises.
Dreams, it's like Super Mario Maker, but for absolutely fucking everything. Like, people can do whatever they want, and you can just play a whole evening of Dreams, and you'll never play the same game twice. And yeah, you're playing some jank shit. Sometimes it's super funny. Other times you're playing things, and you're like, how did somebody fucking make this? You know, like the things you can do in Dreams is amazing. It has a very a unique art style that often comes back depending on what brushes people use. And like T said, you can do way more than just create games. And even if you're not into any of that, Media Molecule made their own game in Dreams that has cutscenes, story, it has point and click elements, platforming elements. The game changes depending on the chapter. Like you can have like a platforming thing like Astrobot, all of a sudden you're like in this noir point and click thing. It's fucking amazing. I absolutely love Dreams.
All right. I didn't know you or T played that game, so I like having surprises here. So T, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Paper Mario Origami King.
Nice.
I just finished this bitch. I was doing what you said you shouldn't do on the weekend, which is crunch, or just crunching anything is not a good idea. But I wanted to have this done so I could give it its true, place. And there are parts of me that miss, turn-based, turn-based battles in Paper Mario games. I do miss it. I miss it a little bit more in this game. Although I did like the battle system, it just wasn't rewarding as far as like battling. So towards the end, I find myself avoiding battles a lot because you got to play the game, but you don't really need them as much outside of just getting power-ups and whatnot. But yeah, I love it. The humor is still just as funny to me. It's gorgeous to look at, and yeah, love it.
All right, Robert, what's your number 4?
Oh man, this is tough because
you should have this list set.
No, it is. It's technically set, but it's never going to be set. Life changes, life goes on, and your opinions change. But my number 4 game of the year is The Last of Us Part 2. I absolutely loved this game so much. As you know, I took off and I just played like 2-3 days straight, and it's a phenomenal game, man. I love the stealth. I love when it gets chaotic. I love the set pieces that you go through. The story is a little hit or miss for me sometimes. But for the most part, I love the characters, and seeing them again in older states in a different mindsets. It's a fantastic journey, and it feels like once the game ends, you've went through some shit, and I really enjoy that.
All right.
The Last of Us Part 2 is my number 4.
Good pick. Clocked it. Number 4.
Number
And sorry,
4.
before you speak, I'm having trouble because I'm screen sharing. I can't, I guess, barely periodically check the chat. So sorry for people commenting and stuff. I'm not able to see it all the time.
We're in there a little. We're in there.
But anyway, number 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my history of Street Rage 4 when it was first shown and everything. I was not a happy bunny. I wanted more. And then it all changed when we saw one trailer where they showed classic characters and stuff. And I was just like, holy fucking balls, man. And the composers, they confirmed so much more later on. And I could not wait. So I actually bought it on the PS4, rinsed it on the PS4. Then I ordered, obviously, this on limited run. And then this finally turned up. And I rinsed it on the Switch as well, unlocked all the characters. But, it's just, they just, for the most part, they absolutely nailed it. I got a few little niggles, with it, but they done like this massive update on there where they changed character speeds, addressed some of the armor issues that I had and stuff. And I salute him, and I done a video saying, I admit I was wrong about certain things. And it was just a complete turnaround of Streets of Rage 4 for me.
I'm
a
glad.
Complete turnaround. And like I said, I was more than happy to, admit, sometimes when you're wrong. I think that's important.
I'm glad you were.
And,
I'll wait for that Metroid Prime 2 video.
And, but also with the limited edition, limited run messed up, and they sent you like a free soundtrack as well. So just everything ended up going right.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 4. So.
And I'm mad at myself because when I spent 2 weekends ago redoing my PC, I totally meant to play Streets of Rage 4 and at least have it, play through it once and see how I felt. I don't think it was going to make my top 5, but you never know. And I just didn't have time because I had other games I had to push through and replay just to kind of reset my list or get my list set. But I'm glad that worked out. So let's try to not these subcategories because we're already an hour in. I know it's going to be a longer podcast, but let's try not to spend too much time on
keep
each.
It shorter.
So you could go right into to best music and or sound design in 2020.
To me?
Yeah.
I've got 2 games down, but I'm just going to go straight to the one that I've decided to choose, and that is for best music. I chose Hades, and that's just because Supergiant Games with Dan Korb and those guys. They just music-wise, they've always been on form, and I just love the soundtrack to Hades. Out of all the games I played, there's other games up there, of course, but yeah.
Nice.
I'm not waffling on Hades.
All right, Robert.
What was the other game though, Clark? The other game that you might have picked? You said you had 2.
Oh, the other game was Hyrule Warriors.
Okay, all right. So this was tough as shit for me. Very, very tough. Even to right now, I'm like, holy crap, there's too many. But it's so tough. Honorable mentions to fucking Last of Us and Paper Mario and all that. But then I think I'm gonna have. I even thought about Spiritfarer or Shantae. It's one of the others I was really thinking. But if I'm being honest with myself, years down the road, the one that's gonna stick with me the most and gonna give me the most memories and the ones that I could hear anytime is the soundtrack to Animal Crossing New Horizons. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking hourly music is always gonna stay in my mind. The theme, it's always gonna be in my mind. But huge shout out to Shantae though. I was maybe about to give that because honestly, I love that some of those
it's
songs.
It's the same music in every game. I mean, it's the same.
Is it? So I don't
know.
I don't know. Okay,
it's
but
very
remixed,
but
there are a lot of remixes.
It's very similar.
Okay, but Animal Crossing, I'll have to go with it. Fuck it, I have to be honest.
All right, Tease, music and or sound design. Don't forget about sound design.
Yeah, I'm putting it together because I think that's what put it over for me to pick this game, and that would be Ori and the Will-O-the-Wisps. Did you even know I was playing that shit, son?
I know you were playing. I didn't know how far though.
I never know you're playing fucking anything.
Which is good. I like the surprises.
I'm deep in there. Anyway, yeah, man. I mean, the music it's just gorgeous. It sets the tone for the game. The sound design also as well. It's just little hints of this, a little hints of that. It's really crisp. Like, I don't have the best audio setup here for any of that, but it still came through for me as far as the audio in that game.
Sounds pretty good with Dolby Atmos in the theater.
I bet it does, because if it sounds this good on my shit speakers,
it does sound pretty good.
Then I know it sounds good. Yeah, so that's my pick.
All right, Retro.
I'm just doing favorite music. Sometimes I notice because I like sound effects and that kind of stuff, but I'm just going with music to keep it short. Best soundtrack for me, without a doubt, is Age of Calamity. Every single fucking song in that game is just absolute perfection. I like the little intermission tunes and everything, and specifically the song. It happens before this level, but I don't remember which one that is. But on the Great Plateau stage, that fucking song is one of the greatest songs I ever fucking heard. It's such an amazing song. It pumps you up. It kind of has like a remix of the Zelda theme in it and everything, and it's just fucking art. It's Lord of the Rings war fucking art. I love that song.
I was so close to picking that too.
You want to hear something crazy?
That's why it was on my list, man.
I have 59 hours in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and I didn't even notice the music other than the menu. I know. I was so ingrained in the combat.
Get off the podcast.
I didn't even hear it. I couldn't tell you one memorable moment because I was I love the combat so much, which I didn't talk about.
The remix to Mipha's track.
I was gonna say the remix is so good. The remix.
So that would be something where I'd probably have to hear it outside of the game because I'm so distracted by the game. I was so enthralled with the combat and stuff, which I wish I would have.
This bitch was giving me shit for fucking years.
I wish I was. I know it wasn't annoying that it didn't stand out as bad. I'm sure. I mean, it was. The main theme in the map is good. I just honestly, when I'm battling, I tune it right out. Plus, I turn it down because the sound effects are a little grainy, I guess. So I turn the volume down when I play that game. But anyway, my best music goes to Ori in the Will of the Wisp with runner-up Doom Eternal with some amazing heavy metal tracks. Sound design goes to The Last of Us Part 2. It's almost like a Breath of the Wild situation where there's not a lot of like music or anything going on. There's just mostly atmospheric environmental sounds and great use of the surround sound for enemies, like clickers and stuff. And then Doom Eternal would be my runner-up for sound design because that also had some pretty awesome high quality. Some of the guns, though, that's why I didn't give it first. Some of the guns don't have the impact I kind of expected or wanted, so...
Another good.
All right, Retro, just turn off the camera. So Terrell,
he guessed something. He guessed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it moved the location when he turned off his camera. It moved Terrell over, so I was like, lost track.
Okay. Oh. So the finagling begins. This game technically came had a release in 2020. I mean, but it's not a 2020 game.
I know it
but the music. God, I couldn't. I kind of was like Robert. I was racking my brain through the games. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just go with what I love. Persona 4 Golden's soundtrack is fucking immaculate. There's not even an argument in my mind. That game, considering that game is originally from like 2008, 7, I forget which. That soundtrack is fucking immaculate. I couldn't stop. I still can't stop listening to it. That wins for me. There was no contest in the grand scheme of things.
Right. Don't matter what year they came from, man. We listened to fucking 8-bit tracks and still loving them.
Oh no, 8-bit tracks are great. I fucking love 8 and 16-bit music.
All right, so
I know what you're saying.
Why don't you get us to the number 3 game of 2020 for you?
Wait, did Retro do his number 4?
No, Terrell. Yeah, my number 4 was Dreams.
Yeah, he gave his music. Now we're doing our number 3. Start with.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now we're going to 3. 3 is DLC. It is the Sword and Shield DLC. I went into a mindset where I was like, we got 2 sets of DLC for Pokemon, and I played the shit out of that DLC. I need to go back and check, but I have like over 300 hours in Sword and Shield at this point.
Damn.
It's just it's just addicting. And man, the level design changes because for those who know me, you know my biggest complaint with modern Pokemon has been that every route is a straight line, and that's all we get. And I was so happy when we got Tundra and Olive Armor to see us have elevation. Oh man, I keep forgetting you own the game. It always throws me off because
maybe one day.
There's so much Pokemon shit talk. I had to remind myself some of y'all are fucking liars. So that's the other. But like I won't make it too long. But the Sword and Shield DLC I think was really good. I like the Pokemon added. I love all the little events you could do in Tundra about how you could find certain legendary trios in different ways. And just that level design it's just so good to me. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Honestly, up until Age of Calamity got announced and stuff, I was thinking I was gonna have to put the Control the Foundation DLC as in my top 5 because that was some amazing DLC. All right, so now we're on my number 3, so we're gonna go back to the game. I apologize for this first hint. It's vague. It's really vague. This one's probably the most vague, especially for the 3 remaining games. So you get your character. You upgrade throughout the game. That I won't get too specific, but there are upgrades for your character throughout the game.
I'm gonna give you my
Retro.
Retro, did you learn nothing?
I'm the lowest. I have to do this.
He needs to gain points. He needs to gain points.
Retro's on that metal mentality.
I'm gonna wait on it just because. I'm
put a 3 next year, right before the name of the game, so I know.
All right, I'm not gonna do anything. You said you could upgrade, right? Your character abilities.
Just upgrade your character.
Okay, all right.
Retro's on that death metal mentality.
All right, next hint.
He has no other choice.
The next hint.
No other choice.
The music fits the style or theme of the game.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah,
fuck you.
That's bullshit, man.
This is what?
I have an idea. I have an idea, but I'm gonna hold off on it. But
to me, because I know what 3 games are left, it's the only one that I would really say that about. But
I'm waiting.
Anybody know what? Okay.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you know what the answer is.
I know it was hard to come up with these hints. I tell you, it was difficult.
Who's the fucking guy who came up with the hints? The guy sucks.
I didn't have a lot of time.
Wait, nobody still picked after that?
Okay, so last hint.
Man.
There's a part in the game that people didn't like, but I actually really like that.
Cool.
Oh, see, I was right. I should have just guessed the initiative. I should have guessed the initiative. Hold on. Hold on.
I should have took it earlier.
So Retro gets a -3.
Wait, that was wrong?
He was so confident too.
What did you pick? Retro? Oh, I guess. Oh yeah.
Terrell,
what did you pick?
Oh no! Wait.
Terrell plus
Cal,
1.
you can't say yet.
Terrell plus 1. Clocked it plus 1.
Hold on, I'm trying to fix my number here.
Wait,
Robert plus 1.
Yeah.
Fuck this game.
T plus 1.
It's your fault.
So anybody in the chat didn't figure it out? It's The Last of Us Part 2. You can turn your cameras back on.
Man, the music fits the game. It's people in the fucking city, man.
That's what made me think of it.
Because it's somber music, and it's like it really fits the like.
Yeah, Juice would only say that about Last of Us, but I wasn't 100% sure, and I should have just guessed it on the second one. I'm mad. I waited.
And upgrades are you just find the pills and you can improve your aim and your.
But I guess
that was pretty. That was pretty weak. So anyway, the thing about The Last of Us,
it should be 3. Never mind.
After all the games I played before I went back and replayed, I've been playing Ori here and there. I played a little Doom Eternal a couple weeks ago when it hit Game Pass, but The Last of Us Part 2 stuck with me from the moment I finished it, I have not stopped thinking about just the overall journey that game took me on. Like, it stuck with me, whereas Doom Eternal was just like, yeah, I remember really liking the game, but no moment in the game actually stood out to me. So I loved, and I'm glad that I found out ahead of time that you're going to switch characters halfway through. And I can see why people are mad about that, because they didn't promote that. They kept it a secret. I think that was stupid. But switching to Abby, at first I didn't like it, but as soon as you get to some of the other sections where you encounter this other group where Robert knows where they're whistling, that's how they communicate with each other, is whistling, and it's like just intense. Like this, you just feel like, how the hell am I gonna get out of this without having to use all my ammo and stuff? And then you just, it's one of the best. If it's probably the best stealth game. I know it's not a true stealth, but as far as a game built heavily around stealth mechanics, it's my favorite stealth game of all time. But it's not like die hard stealth. That's why I think I like it. It does have some trial and error. The dogs got a little frustrating, but they're not in it that much. But man, it's just a solid. The gameplay itself, I just really enjoyed. I really enjoyed exploring the first area with Ellie and Dina, where it's more open. I enjoyed the more linear stuff. I really like scavenging. I know some people said it got boring to do it over, with the second character start over, but I like looking through every little drawer and every cupboard and stuff, trying to find resources, and I just kind of enjoy that stuff. And the story was, like I said, it stuck with me. I thought it ended. There's one thing at the very end. I think they just took one step too far. Something I wouldn't have done, because it was really cool. And then they're like, "Oh, you guys gonna do this?" But other than that, it's a really good game, and I'll definitely play it again. I just replayed the first game this year too, and enjoyed that on my second playthrough. So that's my number 3. Retro Death, nice. You're not looking good with your points, but you needed to try something, so I can't blame you.
I had no choice.
All right.
After your second hint, I was still convinced I was right, especially then.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 game is Sakuna of Rise and Ruin.
Nice!
I love this game. It is everything I hoped it would be. The game is kind of like split in 2 parts. You have like food management. You have to like eat every day. If you don't eat, you're going to be hungry the next day. If you're hungry, you don't heal. If you eat, you get stat boost. And a big portion of the game is the rice. You have to grow rice like an actual dude in the fucking rice fields in Asia. You have to like plant it, take into account the weather, the temperature, the level of the water. You have to control everything, and that's just to make it grow. Then you have to like harvest it, make it, chop it, grind the seeds. It's absolutely overkill. But the best part of it is the combat. I don't know if anybody here played Dust and Elysian Tale. It's one of my favorite indie games. The combat is like that. It's like 2D combat, but it's the type of combat where almost every special move you have keeps you aerial. So you're basically flying through the air, like chopping, diving back, flying, diving, picking up more enemies. The combat is so much fun. It's one of the greatest combat I've ever seen in a game. With every new move, it just becomes that much better. Plus, it looks gorgeous. The game.
It looked like Goemon, Mystical Ninja, to me when I first saw it.
The characters have that. Yeah, the character design definitely has that vibe for sure.
Yeah.
All right, T. What's your number 3?
All right, my number 3 is
I don't even know.
Wild Earth African Safari for the Wii.
Why do y'all have this
What's
game?
up, Robert? What's up, yo?
Why do y'all have this game? Why do y'all own this game?
Hell yeah.
Did y'all lose a bet? What's going on? The fuck?
I actually own 2 copies.
Why?
What was a ordering mistake. No, but
yeah, you ordered the game. That was the mistake. What the fuck?
All right, really. My number 3 does have to do with animals, but it's
Crossing. I was just
Animal
gonna guess
Crossing.
that too.
Oh, nice.
New Leaf or New Horizons?
New Leaf. New Horizons. I will say this. I think I'm falling out of love with Animal Crossing. I don't know. Because I would be a lot further in and hours-wise and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe it was just a year. Maybe this is a perfect game for the year we had last year, but maybe it was just too much for me to deal with. But I'm like 70 hours in. Usually I'm around 100 at this time. The first year, I usually get about 3 or so 100 hours out of Animal Crossing. But it's fantastic. This is probably the best Animal Crossing we've had. Visually gorgeous. Everything. I mean, I can't think of one bad thing to say about this game. It's great. And if you're not an Animal Crossing fan, why get this game?
All right, Robert, what's your number 3?
My number 3 game of the year. It's tough because I'll talk about number 4, but no. So number 3 is Paper Mario: The Origami King. It was a huge surprise seeing a Paper Mario game get announced and released this year, and it turned out to be fantastic. I really do like this new battle system, and I especially like it on boss battles. Boss battles are fantastic. The actual worlds you go to, the set pieces, the stories that you go through, this journey is insane, and it's literally unpredictable. The crazy scenarios they put you through, and the characters you talk to, the dialogue is hilarious, and I'm pretty sure I cried.
So no, I know which moment, Rob. I know which moment.
Oh, no. I definitely did cry. Yep. And then it's quite a heartwarming journey, a hilarious journey, and a ton of variety. I mean, talk about designs of worlds. It's insane, some of the set pieces they put you through. It's fantastic. So for sure, Paper Mario Origami King, number 3.
Good choice.
I won up your cattail retro with my cattail. All right.
Are y'all dueling with cattails?
He had a cattail earlier. Clocked it. What's your number 3 game of 2020?
Throw down the cattails.
Oh, it's cutting out.
No.
I heard Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing. I heard the ukulele.
3, huh?
I went, oh fuck, man.
Yeah, you might be surprised, but it's just it's 2 other games that tickle my bones just a bit more. But
that's your second copy, by the way, right?
I already know. I know your two. The 2.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
I know it's top 2.
It's not. I can't use that as a factor. But I mean, me, Rob, and Retro, we're always talking about the game. We're always on it. It's some things are missing, some things are new. It's beautiful. It's taken us through the whole year. I think I've got about 150 hours on it. I'm nowhere near finished. I love it. Absolutely love it. It could easily be number 1. But I had to be honest with myself. And there's some things from New Leaf which I'm dearly missing from this game. I think we're all missing some things, from this game, whether they come or not in different forms or not, it don't matter. But Animal Crossing saved 2020 for most of us. I think definitely, it saved it for me. And when you think back to when the item was just bare bones to where you are now, meeting up with Retro and on New Year's Eve was just. I had my New Year's Eve on Animal Crossing with my friend in France and his girlfriend in the US, and it was fucking awesome.
You said, remember when your island was bare bones? That Robert's island's still bare bones.
Yeah,
bro, come on.
When did the game come out?
March.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing does this stuff, and when you're into Animal Crossing, you play it. You take your time.
Yeah, you play it how you want to play it.
You play it how you want to play it, and we play it throughout the year. And now I can't wait for this year now to try and get back more of my Easter stuff, some more of my Halloween stuff that I miss and all that.
Yeah.
You just right. So yeah. I can't fault it too much. It's just up there, but yeah.
All right, so we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna go back down to Terrell for best looking game of 2020. We'll come back up, and then we'll go down. We'll start with Clocked It at his number 2 game of the year, just to mix it up a little bit. So Terrell, best looking game of 2020. Doesn't matter your whatever parameters you want to judge it on.
So it's funny because the best looking game of 2020 is a 2020 game, but I didn't play the game, but I played the prequel, and then I went and looked at the sequel when I started trying to play the sequel, and man, that game is gorgeous. It's Ori.
Oh yeah.
That shit. So to give context, I played the first game on Twitch and went through the first game and said, "Oh, the first game's really good." And Juice was like, you need to get another 2020 game on your fucking list. So I said, all right, fine, fuck it. Let's start Ori. Let's start Will of the Wisps. Cool. So I fucking booted up and I was just blown away visually. Visually, it's just a gorgeous game. I couldn't finish it in time, but it's absolutely gorgeous.
Especially the fucking tropical area, like the red flowers.
Yeah, I feel bad because I feel bad almost putting it on the list because I didn't get far enough into it to see everything. But since we're just talking visuals, it's just a gorgeous game. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I think Ori speaks for itself. Also, because I think it's probably on one of Juice's lists. So I mean, it's gonna come up.
My best looking game of 2020 is it's a lesser known title. It's called Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So, I mean, I was just to check. I turned it on last night. And I'm like, yep, there's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts. Runners up, though. I know clocked it, and I didn't agree on this, but Immortals Phoenix Rising is my runner up for best looking game. I don't know, man. The screenshots don't even do it justice. But anyway, Ori's just... I don't know how they made what I thought was the best looking 2D game of all time, Ori and the Blind Forest, how they took it to such a next level where it's like, it blew me away. The multi-layered thing, watching John Linneman Digital Foundry video and how they do the layers and stuff. And it's like, when it first came out though, on Xbox, some of the backgrounds were a little blurry and kind of pixelated. They cleaned that up and stuff, and it's just, especially, doesn't matter if it's on my HDR TV or on my computer monitor, it's just easily the best looking game. So Retro Death, what's your pick?
I didn't play either of these games, and if I had, one of these would have been in the top 5. I know.
It's on Xbox.
No, I can just buy shit on PC or whatever. What the fuck? But I almost chose for best graphics Ori, but I just didn't because it just does a little bit more than the previous game, and it has that Trine vibe. No, it's a fucking gorgeous game, but it's just more of what I've seen. And you can technically say that for my actual pick, but I think the best looking game this year, because there was just way more evolution in it, I feel, is Paper Mario and the Origami King. It's just a breathtaking game, and I feel like it shows that Nintendo, they do kind of need that power in order to truly show everything, even with a game like this. For example, if you play Yoshi's Woolly World again, it looks great, the Woo aspect and shit, but when I played it again, I'm like, but I mean, like, I don't know, man, like, that could look a lot fucking better. And I feel like Paper Mario finally reached that point where it just absolutely perfect when it comes to like the depth and the lighting they use in it, just the paper mechanics. So definitely Paper Mario for me.
All right.
Did you play Color Splash? Sorry.
Yeah, did you play Color Splash Retro?
No, I didn't play it yet.
It looked very good.
Better.
No, I agree. It definitely. Do you think it looks better?
No. I don't think it looks better.
I don't think it looks much better than Color Splash, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I definitely think so.
All right, T, what's your...
All right, so we're on mine?
Yeah.
I want to be different from the rest of you guys, so picking the same game. My number 3, is that what we're on?
Mm-hmm. No, just the best looking game of 2020.
Best looking game. What am I saying? Whatever. Number 3. Again, why am I saying that? Best looking game. I'm looking at my list here, and it keeps jumping out at me. I'm trying to fix this stupid list because I have it on my phone. It's doing weird stuff. But anyway, best looking game of 2020, hands down, is Ori. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. The fucking game is gorgeous.
I think it's probably the best looking game of all time, honestly.
It is gorgeous. And I was like, man, I remember Ori looking good, like Blind Forest looking good, but did it look this good?
No, I went back.
No,
it's not even close.
I went back and looked at it too. I'm like, holy crap, this game looks so much better. And again, you put it with the sound, and it just all comes together beautifully. Yes, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
All right, Robert. Do you have a different game?
Oh, I was gonna say I played it on my base Xbox One, so I don't know if there's any enhancements. I'm sure there are, right?
Yeah, the backgrounds and
I did
look a lot cleaner.
So I mean, I did play it on my 2K monitor. I don't know. I'm sure that helped, but yeah.
So I mean, the best looking game of 2020 would have to be Clubhouse games.
Did you see those chess pieces, dog?
They do look good. They do look good, and Ghost looks good, but it has to be.
He doesn't like that game. We've been through
Ori, the Will of the Wisps.
I'm going home. I just want to tell everybody we didn't tell each other what we thought would be our best game. This is a surprise to everyone. I'm surprised.
Come on, man! Like that art style is insane, and the actual world design, the animations of everything, it's just fucking ridiculous. I want to give runner-up is definitely Paper Mario. I think for sure the world design of that is crazy, but Ori, just that art style, it's drop dead gorgeous, and I think I dropped dead when I saw it. Yeah, so, yeah.
Seeing it like
shockingly beautiful
pressure.
And it looks that good, and it early it didn't do this, but it runs so smooth, the animations and everything, it just all comes with everything moving. Like you jump and you land on a wood, like a fallen tree that's kind of like a bridge, and it fucking slumps when you hit it. Like all that comes together on top of this amazing hand-drawn visuals. So it's just amazing how some games look really good in a still photo. Like you take a screenshot, it looks gorgeous, and then when you're playing it, not as good. Ori just feels like a living, like a moving painting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Clocked It. Yeah. Tell me what your best looking game is of 2020.
I got 3 choices.
Oh nice. Shit! Oh shit!
Which one?
What's your pick, son?
Oh! Oh! Shit!
Do you know why I've gone with Paper Mario?
I get that.
Okay, do you know why I've gone with Paper Mario? It's because I agree. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is one of the best looking games ever made. It's absolutely fucking stunning. But Ori pushed me away because it tries too hard, and its levels are so abundant and so in your face. I actually started to lose my place within the world, if that makes sense. It's too much. And
so
sometimes
it looked so good he couldn't take it.
Sometimes you lose your place within the world. So when I was going around,
he blends in with the world. You're saying, or
have I been here? Can I recognize the characters and all this stuff? It's so gorgeous. It's almost too gorgeous. Whereas Paper Mario, because they kept it simplistic, and it's so neat and so cut and so perfect. Like when I got to places like Autumn Mountain, or the Water Shrine, which was just like Zelda, and then the river reactivates and the water looked fucking real within this paper world. You get to like Shroom City, which is this neon lit place in the desert. You get to the Shogun Studios, which was all Goemon 64 for me, and all that stuff. It's not so much that it's not the best looking game. It's just captured everything just perfect, and for that, it's just my personal favorite looking game.
That's cool.
That I played for that reason.
So now we're gonna get to the actual number 2 game of the year. So Clocked It. Why don't you start us off? We'll go back down the train here.
So. Number 2 now is it, Brian? Number 2 is it? All right. My number 2 is.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you know what? Fucking hell. I don't even know what to say about this game. It was, without giving away spoilers, and like we've all discussed, it just ended up being the story that we didn't ask for, but was better.
Mm-hmm.
But was just better. And then the final boss and stuff pissed on Breath of the Wild. Just fucking just
the design especially.
It's just
yeah.
It was just magical. I loved all the characters. I agree with when Retro says this was Zelda's first story. She was just empowered in this game. I loved playing as all the characters. I mean, there were one or two secret characters which were just stupid. I barely used them. I just left them. But then you got some characters which you didn't expect, and I just loved. You could moan about the performance and stuff, but I was just in the zone throughout the entire thing. It's just a phenomenal game. It's just so good, especially if you love Breath of the Wild. It's just amazing. So yeah.
All right, Robert, what's your number 2 there? I'm gonna guess it's not Animal Crossing. I'm just going on a limb.
My number 2 game of the year is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It is a fantastic game.
That game again?
with honestly, I was saying I think it's the best controlling game since Mario Odyssey. I love the controls in that game. Everything's nice and tight. The world design is fantastic. The boss is the combat. The combat is so insane. I love that combat, and it just feels so fluid, and you feel like you're in full control of Ori. And I mean, come on.
I like the boss fight where you're like in the air, like for like a minute
at
a time. Yeah, the boss fight,
man.
It's
like in the air. You feel like you still have full control. You feel like you're good. You're not worried about, oh man. Some games the controls are the greatest. You just feel like this is secondhand for you. Like you are Ori, and it's great.
All right, good pick. All right, Ms. T, what's your number 2 game of the year 2020?
My number 2 pick is Ori. What is going on?
Remember last year with Luigi's Mansion? I think this happened.
I know, this is crazy, and it's even crazier because I haven't finished this game. Disclaimer, but I'm about 6 or 7 hours into this game, and I started it this weekend, and I mean, it blew me away with the visuals, blew me away with the sound. I mean, it won both of those categories for me, and obviously the gameplay is top notch. The controls, like Robert was saying, is amazing. It's just, and the only reason it's not higher probably is because I haven't finished it yet. But I don't expect it to take.
No, it doesn't get. It never. I wouldn't say it gets vastly better at the end, but it definitely stays equal to where. It was.
Yeah, no, so it never dips.
That would have made it my number 1. But as of right now, it's my number 2 pick. Fantastic game. I was gonna wait for this game. That's why I needed another game. So I was gonna wait for this to play on my Series X. But I was like, I'll just play through it again on a higher difficulty. Is there a higher one? I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah.
Maybe there is a difficulty. I can't remember.
A phenomenal game.
All right, Retro Death, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, number 2 game of the year.
No, man. Actually, I haven't played it yet, but that's
because you got a tough decision.
I'm only playing the first one now. This was absolutely fucking brutal, these first 2. But like what Clock had said earlier, I have to be absolutely honest with myself.
Holy shit.
My number 2 is Animal Crossing.
Holy shit.
He's got 5,000 hours.
I have an obscene amount of hours in this game. This is never been out the game.
Somebody look on his, see how many hours he has.
It's my most played game.
Dude, he has 1,000 like something.
I'm at like 1,200 or 1,300 or some shit like that.
I'm checking right now.
The reason why this is number 2 becomes more clear later, but I love this game. It's fucking beautiful. It has the atmosphere. It's Animal Crossing. Like what Clark said earlier, we're able to visit each other, visit Clark, visit Robert, visit my girlfriend, all that shit. You can do all this shit. Visit the Trizzy, talking with each other. It's just a whole community of shit. But
$12.75.
Yeah. But it just is definitely, and I just can't ignore it, missing a lot of stuff. And I like beginning with nothing. That's one of the great things. You begin with absolutely nothing. It's wild. It's awesome. But you reach, even without my hours, you reach the peak really fast of what you can do. Now you can do the landscaping. That alone, like what he said, the landscaping alone really makes it the best Animal Crossing there is. The fact that you can put shit outside, but I'm just looking at what I have, and I'm just noticing more everything I'm missing. There is way too. I know we talk about this a lot with Plotted and Robert and stuff. We talk about it a lot, but it's just a fact. They took way too much out of Animal Crossing when they made this game, and that's why it can only be number 2 for me.
1,200 hours. It took so much out.
That's the thing. You got 1,200 hours. That's 1,200 more hours than I have in the game. You have 1,275.
Yeah, but right. You're like you have 500 kids to feed.
I was on this podcast some years ago talking about Mario Kart 8, and I wasn't really paying attention. Come get on this podcast with a Mario Kart 8 discussion, and it was called 50 Things Wrong with Mario Kart 8, and I'm like. But these guys had like 400 hours in the game, so they could find 50 things wrong with it. And I was just like, I can't be a part of this discussion. I only got like 30 hours in it right now, and I'm like, so that's what it kind of feels like.
Yeah, I remember
when I hear you
days.
talk about.
But I get, I kind of felt. I wish I would have guessed Retro's because his number 1 is going to be his dream game. So, all right, so now we're on my number 2. So you guys ready? Guys, get ready for your Retro. You need to You just need to guess. Retro, you just need to guess right now. So my first hint is the story isn't the main driving force for me playing this, to continue playing this game, to keep playing. To go back, turn it on every time I turned it on, and to keep playing. So
why do you have to say that with such a dead tone? That tells us just the fucking he
talks like that, guys. Jesus.
Well, hey guys, the story wasn't that exciting for me, but it was not the main reason I was playing it.
All right, now you sound like Robert.
It's like you don't know who Juice is, man. We used to make fun of him.
Anybody gonna guess after that hint?
All right,
I can't. Nope. You said something earlier in a podcast, which was making me think that I shouldn't guess this game, so I'm gonna wait.
I have an idea.
Retro, actually. You have to. You have no chance.
I just want to say, Juice, that I've set this game now like 3 times in a row. And originally, I wanted to give this the number 1 spot. I swear to God, if this is going to be a number 1 game, I'm going to flip some shit.
Second hint.
You know what? Hold
on, Terrell, you guessed?
I'm guessing.
All right, my mother walked in. That's what that was.
Oh,
I'm guessing.
Robert guessed.
Okay.
Oh, we missed the mom cameo tonight.
All right, second hint.
She had legal
fast travel is crucial for 100%ing the game, or doing all the extra stuff.
Fucking.
I'm so
fast travel is a must if you're going to try to do everything in the game.
I fucking hate you so much.
Oh God.
Not sure.
So I've only got 1 point. Oh man.
I don't think it's 1.
And
1 point difference.
More than I do.
Wait, who's winning?
Don't say.
Because then your guys, what you guessed.
That's right.
You get motivated by that.
Anybody gonna?
No, I'm gonna wait.
All right,
I'm gonna play it safe.
I'm gonna say the final hint is a few of the character models are less than appealing. I don't know what went wrong with a few of these character models.
Oh fuck me! And I should know. I feel like I should know.
There's one in particular that's just hideous.
Okay.
It could go both ways.
God, oh, fuck it.
No. Fuck.
Maybe I was right.
No, I can't use that one because I
don't know.
God damn it.
I can't think of anything now.
I gotta pick something.
I kind of stuff.
He set it up was so fucking vague. God damn it.
The whole goddamn thing is vague.
Fuck
I
it.
know.
I feel like I'm confident.
I have no idea.
feel like I'm confident.
I don't even think this game.
But for
has
me,
fast travel
this is
functions.
the only game that even applies for.
Fuck it. We're just gonna take a gamble here.
Oh my god. Oh,
Terrell.
oh,
-1.
we're all there.
Terrell -1, T -1 there. All right,
Yeah,
so
fuck you.
number 2, game of the year. I'll give a final hint. A few months ago, I didn't even know this was a game I was even ever gonna play, and that is
I gotta have it right. I gotta have it right.
Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
I should have read it.
Hermes,
fucking
the first character you
Hold on,
meet
remember,
is like the
remember,
ugliest fucking character.
God dang it!
remember. I put first.
No
For the first
way.
hint. I said for the first. Hint,
I gave you
after the
3
first
already.
hint,
I gave you 3.
All right,
Robert
all right.
is pretty much he's
Well, I
in
couldn't
a lead
pick it
here. Let's
because
just
What?
I started doubting because of the fast travel, because I
The
think
fast travel
and shit like Breath of the Wild thing, you never really fast travel.
I know, but this
I don't
game,
either,
it's
and I
kinda-
think
I
it's
do it all the
something.
time.
we already all
You want to know why?
we
You
already
want to know why the fast?
we already all picked the number 1, right?
You know
you
what?
could pick. I mean, you can pick any game. You.
That's why I didn't pick it
Oh.
again, because I was like, oh, I picked it. But then I was like, that's
I
got to
wish
be
you would have
it.
asked. I would have said
Because
you could pick it. Now.
I see. I didn't know that. Fuck.
Also, by the way, the reason why I didn't choose fast travel because Juice has been posting pictures of how good the game looks. And my brain's like, well, he's not gonna fast
It's
travel.
such a huge world, though, dude. It's fucking massive.
Damn
But when
it!
you said ugly model, I was like, yeah, that's got to be Phoenix. But
Yeah.
I didn't pick it because I picked it as
Yeah, I wish I
number
would have
1
clarified that because
I
you
didn't
could
know
have
I
guessed.
The thing is, with
I
your
thought I
first
could use it again.
with your first hint, I was gonna guess Immortals. But I thought I can't gamble right now. There's just no fucking way I can do it.
So let me
I
just
was
talk
like,
about.
No idea.
It's between two of them.
No
It has
idea
to-
now.
And I have to confess, I didn't beat the main story. I'm 41 hours
That's why I
and
voted for
43
it.
minutes
That's
in.
exactly why I voted for it.
Yeah, and
And,
that's why I said. I'm sure you said that you were gonna include it because you didn't complete it. But that's why
I said that
that's why
this
I
is the
was-
first time I broke my rule. I usually have to complete
okay,
a game.
okay.
So I'm 41 hours plus. I finally got to that mountain I've shared a bunch of screenshots of, and it's huge on itself. It's like, how the plateau in Breath of the Wild is huge by itself. Like this area could be a whole game. It's just massive. And but I'm just like, I thought maybe I was getting a little burnt out about 20 hours in, then I took about a week off, and not quite a week, 5 days, and I started playing it again, and like I put 13 or 14 hours, I think it was 14 hours in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And honestly, I wanted to keep playing. My battery, my controller finally, after 14 hours, I got the low battery on my PS4 controller, so I
Long ass battery.
threw it on the charger, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go play Ori for a little bit. I played Last of Us and Doom while I had the controller plugged in, standing in front of my TV, and I was like, all right, I just gotta call it. I honestly think by the time I get done with this, it could end up being my game of the year. It's just so, like, it's just fun. The combat is freaking phenomenal. Like, it's honestly, I know this might hurt some people. Out of the games I've played, this is my favorite Ubisoft game that I've ever played. I just absolutely love it. The music is the same composer as Ori. It's not quite as good as Ori.
Oh, is it?
It's
I didn't even
it's
know that.
lighthearted. The jokes don't like land where you're laughing, but it's lighthearted. The banter between Zeus and Poseidon, he's telling the story. I'm playing as the female Phoenix, and she's got like I don't know her accent. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Obviously, they're supposed to be Greek, and it's good dialogue. I enjoy the dialogue. I don't care about the overarching story as much. Just the side quest stuff is enjoyable, and there's just so much to do. There's these
in the beginning when you said one of the first games, one of your hints was like you can't really take your eyes off the screen. You have to play it in short bursts. I thought, man, this dude is looking at so much ass. He just can't play it.
there's really no ass in this game. Like the outfits are most of them are concealing and stuff, but it's just what do you call them, their shrines. They're called the Vaults of Tartarus. There's some really fucking good puzzles. There's some really fun things to do, and it isn't the Breath of the Wild clone that I thought. That someone showed that like Breath of the Wild where you have that it's not a magnesis, but it looks like magnesis. You can just get the ability to draw things closer to you, whether it's a rock or a fucking metal crate. And it's like, oh, that looks like Breath of the Wild, but it's so different the way it's used in this game for puzzle solving. It's just, there's some like I said, these vaults where it's like Zelda dungeon, like especially the main four. You got the main four gods that you have to find their essence and restore them to their former glory, and then when you go, you do all the little side quest stuff, and then you go into their vault. It's this huge. It looks like like the shrines where you can see everything's kind of floating, but it feels very like peak Zelda dungeons at times. Like it's really clever, really where you have to actually think, and it's just combat itself is the star of the show for me. I absolutely love the sword and axe combo, and the upgrades you get, and it's fun. I did not expect to like this game when it was first announced. Name change, they showed the trailer. I was like, oh. Saw a bunch of, what do you call them, YouTubers got the early previews making their videos that they got paid to make, and I was like, wow, whatever. But it was definitely, and I didn't want to reveal this at the time, but it is the best surprise for me of 2020 was how good this game was. But I didn't want to say anything about it, so you guys, I didn't want to give anything away. Yeah. So, all right, Terrell.
So, number 2, clock that started with Zelda. I'm gonna end it with Zelda. The Age of Calamity, baby. That game. Oh man, that game started with. I mean, I think we all agreed it was such a cool surprise, and it made so much sense. It was baffling. Mm-hmm. And then I started the game, and I'm like, all right, I'm digging it. We're kind of going through the motions and paces, and then we get to those key scenes that those who played the game, you know exactly what I'm referring to. And I was like, all right, that's it. That's we got a game, boys. And then I hit the final boss, and I was like, let's go. Oh man, I literally, the only reason why it's not my number 1, I think, is maybe on a technical scale. That's like my only issue with it, that it does have its technical problems, but as a game and as a prequel, it's too good, yo. It's so good. I know we're cutting
cutscenes, man. Those fucking cutscenes are.
I was so fucking bro. Link is an absolute G in this shit. He gets so many cool sequences, especially towards the end of it. I'm just like, I can't even geek out about it because of spoilers. He's so good. It's so good.
And it feels so much better than the first one where Hyrule Warriors, where they just kind of came up with this way to blend all these universes, and it just felt right.
Alternate story.
When
this feels more focused.
When they took the alternate timeline approach and brought some characters into the game that I wasn't expecting, and it was just like,
it's a different game though. The original Hyrule Warriors is like a love letter to Zelda. It was like Koei Tecmo finally being, we got Zelda, do what you want, and what they did with that story, it's not the greatest fucking like Lord of the Rings shit, but they made something work that worked for what it was. Yeah.
I still liked it a lot.
Yeah. I like to see it as well. Yeah.
It made sense. So
I like the way she wrote.
All right, so let's stick with Terrell. We're gonna do best old game that you beat for the first time in 2020. Now, I used to have old game you played for the first time in 2020, but I had to change the rules for myself because I didn't start any old games for the first time, but I did beat a game in 2020 for the first time. So Terrell, what's the best old game you beat for the first time in 2020?
Ironically enough, this correlates with my one of the more disappointing things in 2020. I said, you know what? Out of spite, I'm gonna play the original Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy VII it's one of those games. It's such a cornerstone in a JRPG's fans like, I guess, collection of titles.
Keep going, Terrell. You're doing things to me.
It was one of those games. It's one of those games that when I started, I was like, this is gonna be an undertaking, and I said, fuck it, we got to do it. We got to. I said, if nothing else, I can't sit here and talk all this good shit and not go back and experience the 7th game. And man, that's a hell of an experience. Regardless, and it has its problems. It has parts of it that's aged pretty badly. But all in all, I would never trade that experience for anything else. It's just
that's cool.
It's just a unique experience. The music, the theming. I think Cloud is such a cool character in that game. I'm mad that in every other iteration he's interpreted like a jackass. When in his original game he's handled so well. It's even the Sephiroth shit. That subtlety, the fact that the main villain of the game doesn't even show up until like the second.
I told you that shit. I told you.
And then the fucking remake's like, well, here he is.
Okay. All right, we gotta.
Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so for me, the one game I beat for the first time in 2020, Spider-Man. I did not expect to ever play Spider-Man on PS4 and never beat it, but I said, you know what? It's a little bit of a lull in games for me, and I said, you know what? I'm going to finish this game. I'm just going to push through, and it also collated with I wanted to see how long my DualShock controller lasts, because I felt like I was like, shit, my controller lasts. Let me time this. So I just played Spider-Man, and I ended up like, man, this is actually, now that I got through some of the tedious shit, let me just blow through the story here and do some side missions. And I spent, I bet I put at least 15 to 20 hours into it and finished it. And I thought, you know what? That wasn't half bad. I mean, it wouldn't have, I don't think it would have made my top 5 in 2018 or 2019. What year was that? 2018?
2018.
But it might have. It was decent. And I do want to play Miles Morales at some point when it's cheaper and I have a PS5. But yeah, that's so kind of the only game. I mean, I did start Death Stranding, but I put 1 hour in, and then I was like, you know what, I gotta put time into Immortals, and I focused on that.
You started Death Stranding?
Or Days Gone, sorry, Days Gone.
I was gonna say,
whoa, hold up.
Days Gone.
I was like, how are you gonna drop
I put
that?
I put 2 hours in, and I haven't put the disc back in since, but I will get to that.
Just like Spider-Man, pick it up again at some point.
I will at some point. I'm gonna wait for PS5 on that one.
Yeah, that makes sense, though. I mean, you know.
I mean, it's not a huge... the 60 frames per second, I don't think it'll be a huge game changer or anything, but I just need something to play once again. But all right, Retro Death, what is, if you have one, best old game you beat in 2020?
I have a few, actually, because like I said, like my top 5 this year is not super long, but I beat a lot of old games. The one game, my favorite one, I'm not even going to lie, I know it gets a lot of fucking shit, I don't really know why. It's by far my favorite game I played this year. I fucking love it. It's the original Uncharted game. I had Uncharted on the collection on the PS4 because I wanted. It was in the middle when all this COVID shit started. I was like, you know what? I need a fucking adventure, like Indiana Jones type shit. Sometimes I'm in a very specific mood. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fucking starting Uncharted.
Yeah, I forgot I started that too.
I like the
Did you get it for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it for free, the whole collection, yeah. And I like the shooting. It's super addictive. It's like an adventurous story. I like the characters. One thing near the end kind of really bothered me. I know if one talks about it's not. I know there was some element they tossed in there.
It's like, okay, it's like a 14-year-old game.
But like at the absolute end of the game, out of nowhere, they toss fucking demons in there. I'm like, this shit didn't need that. That is the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen in a game. But I love it. I had so much fun with it. And I started playing the second one after that. I don't know what people's problem is with the game. Yeah, it's very linear, but like, you know, it's a shooting them cover, but I love it. I fucking love the game.
I don't know about the first game, but the second game on PS3, the aiming and the shooting was frustrating to be nice because of that.
That's exactly
the DualShock 3. DualShock 3 controller had the worst analog sticks, I think, of probably all time, and I hated aiming. But starting Uncharted 1 on the collection on PS4, I was like, man, it's really not that bad on here. And I did hear that they in Blue Point made that a point of emphasis. And then 2 ends not with something out of the blue as far as demons, but you have the stupid running on this crumbling bridge towards the camera where these jumps are nearly... I died probably 15 times on that fucking... I don't know about...
The first game
has so frustrating.
Good, son. Get good.
It was just the timing of it. His animations are not suited for like precision timed jumps, but All right.
I played the remastered version, so I started the original at some point, so I don't know if it's much worse. So I will say that it's a remastered version that I played.
All right. T, did you beat a game for the first time in 2020 that was old?
I did. I think it came out in 2017, maybe 2016. Not sure. It's a game called Cube 2. It is a sequel. It's a puzzle game. Aesthetically, it looks a lot like what's the game? Portal. It looks a lot like that, but you're manipulating these cubes and you're going.
Remember you playing that?
Yeah, you seen. Probably seen me share it or whatever. Love it. I mean, you got to be a puzzle game type of dude. I am, and I played the first one on Wii U. Beat that. Loved it. I think 2 is probably better. And I just finished it. It is a 20-hour game, which was surprising me. Every time I thought it was about to end, it's a puzzle game, yeah. And it's like, there's a story element to it as well to keep you kind of going along as well. But you're there for the
cake is a lie.
It's great. What's that movie that me and you Juice we like with Tom Cruise? Nobody else likes the sci-fi movie.
Minority Report?
Oblivion?
No. Oblivion, yeah. It reminded me of Oblivion in a lot of ways. Like aesthetically, has that kind of clean, futuristic look.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So,
and Robert had about 40 games to choose from on this list, so this must have been a tough one for you.
Seriously, I know what it is. It's this one.
Ring Fit Adventure, I'm guessing.
Maybe I'll put that stupid ass game down. I swear to God.
So, my favorite, obviously, yeah, like especially from here on out, I'm always gonna have a million older games that I played for the first time. But my favorite old game that I played in 2020 is one of my new favorite games of all time, and that is.
If you prove 2 echoes, I'm gonna disown you.
Earthbound. Earthbound is fucking phenomenal.
I know you love that game, yeah.
It is so fucking phenomenal.
It is great.
Every single aspect of that game, from the music to the story to the actual combat, it's phenomenal. The scenarios you go through are insane, and it's super unpredictable. And I could rant for so long, but I already made a 40-minute video on it. Go watch that, and it's so damn good. I love that game to death now. Earthbound is
good choice, man.
All right,
fucking game.
Clocked, how about you? Did you have one?
Yeah, I'll be quick. I completed. Remember, I had that completing streak of games I'd done really well. I also just downloaded Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is not on the list because trash. That's a joke. 4 games. A Short Hike, Resident Evil 2 remake, Bomb Chicken, and Yoku's Island Express. You can kick Resident Evil 2 remake out. You can kick Bomb Chicken out, so that leaves A Short Hike or Yoku's Island Express. Both are fucking beautiful.
Wasn't that pinball like
unique games? Yep.
Yeah, that does look good.
I recommend playing both of them quite highly, but I've chosen Yoku's Island Express because if someone said to me that they're going to do a Metroid game and merge it into a pinball game, you're going to think, okay, well, that's Metroid Pinball. No, this is a Metroid style game.
It's like a platformer.
It's like a platformer, but it works fucking beautifully. Artistically, it's like Rayman Legends. It's stunning. The soundtrack is just whimsical and island-like. It's one of the best indie games I've played in a long time, and one of the best Metroid-style games I've ever played. I highly recommend giving it a go. And it's not expensive. It's not expensive.
Yeah, it was super cheap too.
The only drawback is it's a little short, not too short, but just a little short because you just have such a good time. You kind of don't want it to end. But yeah.
Okay. I get that.
All right, so now it's time for your game of 2020. And honestly, with everybody's, I forget which games. Oh wait, I know which one now. All right, go ahead.
It's me, is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, my game of 2020 is.
Really?
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
You got
dirty bitch.
You know who made these?
Yep.
Yeah, Juice already knows.
Hades.
Hades, man.
Nice.
Hades.
Nice.
Listen. Right, you need to listen to me now. Okay. Pay attention. Chat. Pay attention. Juice is loose. Pay attention. Okay. This fucking game is absolutely 100% the best Greek mythology-related game I have played. All right. Forget Immortals. Right. Forget God of War, right?
God of War?
Yeah, forget all that shit. Well, all I'll say about Hades is it has achieved something I've never experienced in a video game before, and that's mastering repetition. If I had a YouTube channel, I would do a video on it, but I don't. So, you know, it's mastered repetition in a way that I've never seen in a game. And I pumped 55 hours into this game. Right, I've seen the credits. I'm continuing, and not once in those 55 hours have I ever seen a single piece of dialogue repeated. Your interactions with every single character just keeps on growing and growing and changing the story and changing your character and your interactions with them, changing the setup of the world. But the combat is fucking, it's sublime. Absolutely fucking sublime. The music is phenomenal. The art direction and characterization of the Greek gods is just my favorite, absolute favorite. And the ending, I should have, like I said, I wish I recorded it because I had goosebumps on my arm. Because once you actually hit the credits, it's just, the game doesn't stop when you hit the credits, but it's just easily now one of the best games I've ever played.
Holy shit!
Fucking loved it.
For clocked it, that's huge, yo.
I thought you had it on PC.
Absolutely loved it.
Didn't you have it on PC?
I have it on PC. Yeah, I played it on Steam.
Did you just show?
Sorry, I just showed Hades on the Switch screen there.
Okay.
Thing, but yeah, I played it on Steam, and I couldn't get off it. I could not get off it, and it's got that type of Bloodborne, that type of Souls satisfaction when you beat a boss. You know, when you die, and when you die, you actually, it benefits you dying in the game, because dying increases the story, increases your powers, increases everything in the world, and it's just, you feel like you're repeating. There's only like 5 stages, but it don't matter. It's just it changes so much with every single playthrough. It's phenomenal. I think Supergiant Games are, if not the best indie studio for me right now, and they have been for a long time. With Bastion, with Transistor, with Pyre, and now with Hades. I just blew my mind. So yeah.
That's what I wanted to say, because I still really want to play Hades, because Hades comes from a studio that has a fucking legacy of nothing but art. Unlike Cyberpunk, who had one game that kind of blew up, like, you know, that's why. So people expect Cyberpunk to be good, but why? And Hades, you just knew it was going to be art. I can't wait to play that still.
Supergiant have never let me down.
Because the last game was good.
So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I really can't. You should play it.
Robert, you can just, we can just say the name of the game and we can go to T.
well, for one,
you can say what you like about it. I'm just kidding.
I will say I am legitimately probably playing Hades this week. I'm probably gonna start that. But my number one game for the year is Cooking Mama Cook Star.
Why do you have that?
Why do you have that game? Why?
Nah, my actual game of the year is
it's been there the whole time.
Oh,
holy crap!
Oh my goodness!
It's like Saw, the movie Saw. It was there the whole time.
Animal Crossing.
It's found a diamond in a turd.
That's crazy. I wonder why I like this game. Well, what I love about it is, one, it's Animal Crossing, and the fact that they expanded on, you can obviously do stuff in your island, even though I did do stuff and I made a whole neighborhood and it's great. I love living in it. The whole Nook Mile thing, I literally every single fucking day go and I just get a Nook Mile ticket. Get one Nook Mile ticket every single damn day, literally since March goddamn 20th. So, I mean, I've talked so much about Animal Crossing, but I love it. It's my game of the year for sure. Like I'd be fucking lying if it's not.
I'm just glad there's a few of you guys could be honest with yourselves about that game.
Dude, no. I'm telling you, like, no. We had this whole discussion that about retro stuff, and I said the dude is missing buildings. He's missing like some buildings. I mean, it's not the biggest thing. It's really not the biggest fucking things. Honestly, it's really not that big, but it's whatever.
I have to defend Robert quickly though, because I know Juice likes making fun like his island is shit. But the fact that
Robert
is one of those people who made like an actual town of his houses, and that alone takes like months to get those houses the way
it does. It
has
take a while, yo. It took a while, yo.
Imagine doing that with fucking 3 kids for them on the island as well, man.
So T, man, I absolutely have no fucking idea what your number one game is. Why don't you tell me and everybody watching?
That's the way I like it. Surprise.
What are you, an evil villain?
And the funny thing is, even though you guys are surprised, you're gonna be surprised. This surprised me way more than it would ever surprise you as being my number one. Okay. Hyrule Warriors, Age of fucking Calamity.
It was okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
That's right. You didn't announce
Fucking phenomenal game. Here's the thing with me. I started off with the game. It was all right. It was cool going along.
Yeah.
They introduced a mechanic that was just like, really? You didn't really need to do that. The fuck they didn't need to do that. Goddamn. This game surprised the shit out of me. Because you go into it and you're thinking it's going to be a certain way. This is going to be, the story of Calamity, Ganon and all this stuff we didn't see. They talked about in the game. And it's that. But goddamn it, is it so much more. They subvert your expectations. Ryan Johnson, but actually in a really good way. And it was just like, I'm glad they did that and didn't do what I expected them to do. That's when it's good. Okay, that's when it's really good.
Yeah, we just expected it to be sad.
My fucking socks off.
Watching Link get
the final
beat.
Yeah, like Link looks like way more of a badass in this. If I was Nintendo, I'd be fucking embarrassed. I would be embarrassed to a degree on some of the boss fights and what they did with this game. Like some of the variations, even. Like, they have lightning versions of this and all that kind of way cooler, way better. And the final boss fight, this fucking game, oh my god, it was great. It was great. And that design made me think that Nintendo had to be somewhat jealous of how good it turned out.
I think Onuma already said. I think he's already said he's so impressed with what technology.
I thought they said that Nintendo handled all character design, cutscenes, and graphics. I thought Nintendo did all that.
Yeah, they done the cutscenes and stuff, but we don't. I think in terms of like the like the additional.
I like how T doesn't believe it.
Like enemies and stuff like that.
I'm not saying I don't believe it. I hadn't heard that. Fucking the battle system is fucking epic as hell. I felt like a boss, after a few hours of playing it, and the fucking music surprised the shit out of me. I didn't think the music would do what it did to me, like the remixes, and it was just phenomenal. Like you watch the ending of the game, like when it goes in the credits, and you just get reminded of how cool the music was, the remixes and whatnot. Phenomenal game. Completely blew my socks off. Again, this is a game I crunched to get it done.
Who was your favorite character?
Favorite character? I would probably say the one I had most fun playing with is oh my god. No, not Urbosa, surprisingly. What's her name? Impa. I loved Impa.
Cool. I like Impa.
Like, I had so much fun playing. She saved my ass in so many battles. Like, I was about to be done. And I came in, I switched to her, and she bossed it. And loved this game.
When she get her multiple shadow spirits up.
The multiple shadow thing. That saved my ass so many times. Yeah.
But for taking down Stone Talus's, Mipha was the GOAT for me. She could just wipe them out faster than anybody with her bomb attack.
She was so overpowered, she nearly broke the game, man.
She doesn't take hits well. That's my problem with her.
She was my main.
That's the downside of her, for me.
Get that damn water spout, the circle waters going, and then get the main wave at the end of the. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, Retrodeath, why don't you tell us about your game of the year, your dream game, best, combine everything you ever wanted.
I don't even have to hide it. One of the reasons I can't put Animal Crossing on one, I've said it often, exactly. This is literally my dream game, the thing I always wanted. So when the original Hyrule Warriors came out, I was like, the thing I always wanted in Zelda was war. You kind of got that. This whole fucking game is one war. all the races coming together, the struggles of the war, the ups and downs, and the army just building up and building up, and it is just so fucking absolutely beautiful. And the reason that the roster would be my negative thing. I have like 6 characters I absolutely love, and then like about a bunch of characters I just absolutely can't stand. I just can't even play with them. And the previous game doesn't do that. I love Hestu.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
No, that's something I like. But no, there's a bunch of characters I hate.
You know the worst character?
The main thing.
I
can't say the worst character.
Daruk's one of the worst of the main characters, I thought.
No, he's my number 2.
I can't play with him.
Yeah.
But
I can't.
The thing that this game does that I love so much, and I put like a post on Twitter. I talked about it with Clock. That it's ironic that this is Hyrule Warriors, because this is the first ever real Legend of Zelda. That's what I love. The whole game is about Zelda. It's her journey from beginning to end, the way she's growing through it, the cutscenes, and Link, he has her knight. And when there's cutscenes, when Zelda's having a speech, Link is standing in the background. Link is protecting her on several times, like this super heroic moments, guarding his shield and his sword, looking fucking badass, but staying in the background. And I just love that. This game is just fucking perfect.
He's so strong as well. Like I think one time, like half a building falls on top of him.
Like what? Are you Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2? What is this? What's going on here? Where did that strength come from?
Near the end of the game and stuff, the fact that it's not like, oh, you're in this war, pick 2 characters and 2 characters on the map. No, fucking everybody is on the goddamn map, and it's perfect. It's just perfect.
Yeah, I wish Robert had played it,
because
I'd love to discuss most every review I watched before the game came out. If you're looking for the prequel to Breath of the Wild and you're looking for the story to carry the game, you're going to be disappointed.
They chewed it up.
You're going to be disappointed.
They got that so wrong.
Are you
How did they
get
so wrong with that?
Like I remember us talking about it. I said, you know what? I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to wait and see where they go with it.
And they went somewhere awesome.
You just never know.
How did they get that so wrong, that critique?
I don't know.
It's so wrong.
It's like Breath of the Wild has perfect gameplay. I love Breath of the Wild. My second favorite Zelda era. Perfect gameplay. But that's all it has. Everything else is in this game. The better story, the better music, the better fighting, the better characters, the better fucking everything.
Yep. I mean, it's a solid game. And like I said, it was my number 1 game there for about 1.5 chapters. I was like, yep, I'm putting this number 1. But I think that was my Breath of the Wild bias speaking. But I did really enjoy it. I think it was the most enjoyable story-wise. It was the most enjoyable story for 2020 for me. So I don't think there's any question about what my number 1 is now that I've given my other 4. I will say Robert was the only one who predicted correctly in the beginning. I asked you guys to predict what my game of the year was.
Flight Simulator.
So
does that mean I win?
You didn't win. I'll reveal the winner in a second here.
What? No.
Obviously, I won.
Ori and the Will of the Wisp. I don't have anything to say that is even remotely a nitpick. Like, I guess the only close thing to a nitpick I could say was it borrowed a lot of elements from Hollow Knight, so it's not like as original as it I guess could be, but all the things they borrowed from Hollow Knight were to benefit the game, especially over the first Ori and the Blind Forest. Having the sword attack, having like the dash across the screen, stuff Hollow Knight did first. But put it in this game with that amazing art style, amazing, perfect controls. I mean, it is. I can't think of another game, a 2D game that controls better. It's just perfect. The animations, the environments, the music, visuals. I mean, it's the complete package. And I forget, Collector, what game you said was the best Metroid style? Was that Yumbo or whatever, Yuko? What's the name of that game? Was that the one you were saying?
One of the older games I played. I love Yoku's Island Express.
Yeah, you said one of them was one of the best Metroid style games you played. To me, this is the best. Well, it's hard to compare it to Super Metroid because they are very different, but I would put it in the same, right next to Super Metroid in that style 2D game.
Where's Hollow Knight, man? What's going on?
Hollow Knight's now third. I like Hollow Knight a lot. I prefer a game that doesn't have that.
Of course,
you die and you have to go back, find,
And Axiom Verge was overrated.
Axiom Verge is good, but Ori, like, it's touching. The got, I wouldn't say in tears, but a little choked up at a couple moments. The backstory to the main villain, the bird, like, actually feeling sorry for him when they actually showed, like, what his origin was. I was like, holy shit. Like, that, I did not expect that.
It was beautiful.
It was almost too sad, That was, I guess that's the biggest complaint I could say. It's almost too sad at times, and it was hard for me to play early on because of some of the technical issues. I waited longer I guess it got fixed within a month, but I waited a couple months to go back. But so yeah, I thought it would be a good game. I've been looking forward to it. I think it got delayed a couple times, and maybe it was supposed to be out in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. It's worth the wait, and it was hard not. It would have been impossible to not put it at number one. So Robert guessed Ori, and he got 5 points for that. But Terrell guessed Immortals, so he got 4 points for his guess. And with all his other...
Wait. What? He gets 4 points for that guess?
Yeah, because
it was his number two. It was his number two.
That changes everything.
So,
but even though I guessed Doom,
3 points, I guessed Doom, which was my number 4 game, so he only got 2 points. But Collected got third. Terrell is the winner. He gets the pick. He gets to pick the game.
How much? By how many points?
He had 8 points.
How many points?
Robert had 7. Got second place.
Terrell always win all this shit.
Collected had 4.
Not bad.
T was +1, and Retro Death was -4. Retro Death was -4. So he's the biggest loser. So Terrell, you can
put it down. T.
I'll give you to the next podcast to try to think of the game you want me to play.
That's really quick,
7 on a PlayStation 1.
That's real quick.
I'm genuinely going to think about it. I'm not
So,
going to do
Pokemon Shield or some shit.
Put it
Congratulations.
down. Why do you have that?
Congratulations, Terrell. So why don't you give us your number 1?
I feel bad because my number 1
is coming your way.
I don't even know what the fuck you got left.
The irony is that my number 1 is really out of left field. You wouldn't know, and some people may not even remember that I played it because it wasn't even a game I streamed. But I invested over 100 hours into it, and that game technically isn't even a 2020 game, but it did release in 2020 and it released in 2019. What game is that? It's Dragon Quest XI S.
God damn you!
Okay.
God damn.
What did it release in 2020 on?
He can't do that. He can't do that.
So for those who don't understand what I mean when I say that, Dragon Quest XI S originally came out on Switch last year, and then it came out again.
Let me
rephrase that. I'm sorry.
The 2019 game.
2019.
It's
it
a
came
2018
out
game.
It's 2018.
On
It's 2019 on Switch, and then it's 2020 on PS4 and Xbox One because the S version got ported last year. So I fucking win. I win everything.
You didn't have Resident Evil 3 on your list, did you?
No, I did. It's number 3.
Wait, what about Hyrule Warriors?
Oh, that's right.
That was 2.
Yep.
That was my 2.
Yep,
that was my 2.
Sorry.
What about Fall Guys? You didn't put Fall Guys.
No, we're gonna put Fall Guys on there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, but you're gonna put a game that didn't come out this year?
Dragon Quest is greatness. I played it. I fucking loved it. It was just a beautiful.
Bro.
You know why it's on my list? It's on my list for one reason, because I got towards the end game, and I remember it was actually a night after the podcast. I said, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna beat this game. I started playing. I realized it's fucking 1:00 in the morning. I got work tomorrow. Nah, fuck it, let's do it. And I stayed up and I played it, and that game throughout the entirety of this year, this game never left my mind. It's still there. I still want to go back and play more of it. And I already beat the true ending of it. I don't care. It's such a good game.
Was Jade always in your party?
You picked this guy at 5 for Juice to play.
Oh no. Jade was in the party. Well, actually, I don't want to pick. You know why I wouldn't pick 11? Because I think he said he played a bit of the demo of 11. So I'm tempted, but I'm gonna actually.
For that pick, I'm gonna deduct 2 points from your total score. Robert's the winner.
Robert's the winner.
Okay, all right.
Just kidding.
I would love it.
That's a Harry Potter thing.
I have a genuine question.
2 points from Gryffindor.
I have a genuine question, Juice. Who do you think is gonna would pick the worst game, me or Robert?
I was gonna say that, Juice. You want Terrell. You don't want Robert picking.
I don't know.
Robert. I would actually. I genuinely.
I think between you two, you would pick a decent game. I would be a little bit more worried about.
You should pick a 200
Well,
hour strategy RPG.
I would.
Fuck, man. Shit.
Not that you would do it intentionally, but I would be.
I was already thinking this stuff. I was like, maybe you might like Hitman 3 or some shit. I was thinking something like that. I don't know. I was trying to think something.
I didn't win. I was gonna fuck you up.
I was gonna put my hands.
Either way.
I've been trying to get you.
Let's quickly.
I've been trying to get you to play Darksiders 2 for a fucking decade. That would have been my game.
So let's quickly do some honorable mentions since I wanted to. So
God damn it.
Terrell, you probably don't have any since you barely.
I don't have
5.
any. I don't care. I'm on my.
So mine was
Fall Guys.
Mine was Flight Simulator.
Guys, fall. Fuck you.
Flight Simulator was really fun experience, but honestly, I've barely touched it since I got Game Pass in the last month. But Resident Evil 3 was my main honorable mention. That was my number 5 game so I picked up Immortals and started playing that. So I really enjoyed Resident Evil 3. Retro, did you have an honorable?
I have an honorable mention that I didn't play. It's just Paper Mario because I really fucking want to play that. So I just want to give it an honorable mention. That I already acknowledge how good that's going to be.
How about you, T?
What?
Honorable mention?
My honorable mention is a game that got pushed out of the top 5 because of Ori last minute. And that is Streets of Rage 4. Fucking phenomenal. So that's why it's not in my top, because of Ori this weekend.
What about you, Robert?
My honorable mentions. I kept flipping between Doom Eternal and Spiritfarer, and Doom Eternal had to go down. And Astro's Playroom. Shout out to Astro's Playroom and Airy and the Secret of Seasons and Dreams.
I knew this fucking bitch was gonna do that shit.
Are these real games? Or are you just
What's
making
your
that
actual? Would have been number 6 game.
Oh, it would have been Doom Eternal, but number 7 is Astro right now, and then 8 Airy and the Secret Season, 9 Dream, and 10 Fall Guys.
What about you? Clocked it.
I got 3 honorable mentions.
Nice.
Oh, you got Paper Mario.
So we got.
Hey,
we got Ori, Xenoblade. I didn't include Xenoblade because of the remake, so I technically already played it. Paper Mario was nearly my number 5, but it got kicked out by Death Trap Dungeon because of nostalgia. And Ori, I didn't complete, but you know what? It would not have made my top 5 anyway, even if I did complete it.
Man, you were tough on the Metroidvania games.
Maybe that's because you have the Switch version. That's why.
There's that. Right, the Switch version is
that's a solid
really
port. Solid port.
Really good.
But let's just acknowledge that Ori, Microsoft Studios game, made at least 3 of our lists, right? 3 of ours.
Yeah.
I think Terrell had it. You didn't
no,
play
4 bars. 4 bars.
I had it on my best. I had it as best looking.
Oh,
I
had 2 PC games, a Microsoft game, and 3 Nintendo games.
So I had to point out to somebody a while back that like 4 of my top 5 games are available on the Switch. I didn't play those on the Switch, but they're available on the Switch. They're good games that the Switch has that came out in 2020. Like I was glad to that Ori came and that Immortals was a good game. That was always coming to Switch, and then Doom finally made it out on the Switch late. So it's like the Switch has had a lot of quality games in 2020. Just Nintendo themselves didn't have a ton, but yeah. So it was a good year overall for gaming. Not anything else. It sucked almost every other way, but for gaming, it was a good year, and I wish I would have played a couple more, I guess. But at the same time, I feel pretty satisfied with the 7 7 games that I did play from 2020. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Final thoughts on 2020 as a whole gaming
I think it was a good year. I think it was a very good year.
I'm still not even close to finishing my 2020. I got a lot more to play. And
you didn't play Hyrule Warriors, and that made all our lists. Other than
I mean, I didn't play Doom. I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima. All that stuff.
Well, to be honest, like this list is going to be completely different by the time I actually get my top 10 definitive top 10. So hey, it'll be a surprise, I guess. Well, maybe completely. We'll see.
Games.
I might create a YouTube channel and do a top 10 as well.
You should.
You should, yo.
I'm just trying to think of.
You got a good voice. Yo.
The only game that I'm like, I almost picked up and probably play in 2021 was, but then Robert, I know you kind of turned me off to the idea of getting Ghost of Tsushima at some point, but.
Yeah.
Robert hates that game.
I genuinely promise you.
Robert hates that game.
As much
I'm not expecting that I would like it. I was just figured I'd check it out because I mean a lot of people did put it in their top 3.
I think you'll enjoy it. I just don't think you'll put it to
a word that man says. He enjoyed Balan Wonderland. Just don't listen to it.
I didn't say I enjoyed it. I didn't say I enjoyed it.
If you want to see somebody enjoy that game, watch Joseph's video because she was like a kid in a candy store with that game. I was like, wow. But
really
delirious. She's crazy.
Hey, I like shit. I like some bad movies that everybody hates that I absolutely love. So I can understand. But from what I've seen,
who's played it? Who's played the demo?
I played it on the Switch and I played it on the PS4.
I played
it on the PS5.
I regretted it. God, I regretted
it. It just.
I would honestly play Sonic 06 for the rest of my life.
Rest of your life? Nah, come on, man.
Part of me hopes I landed in
I feel like
I hope I land in her camp because I wanted to like this game so much. But I could you could see
it looks rough. I mean, she's not saying it's great.
Chief.
She said it was a 2021 GameCube game. That's how she described it.
No, that's just insult to platformers on the GameCube.
Yeah, don't be dragging the game.
She said it was a nostalgia filled, made her feel like she's playing a GameCube game in 2021. So
also
I heard somebody say something like, Billy Hatcher. I'm like, don't put Billy Hatcher in this shit.
Well, that's not the same game. That's not the same kind of game.
Billy Hatcher is a better game.
Billy Hatcher had better controls. Billy Hatcher had better controls. My God.
I'm gonna.
But I heard that the later levels are pretty entertaining, So I don't know.
From boredom, holy shit.
You know what it reminds me of? And I don't mean to. This isn't trying to be. It literally. I mean, I know he created Sonic, but it reminded me of some of the watching gameplay. It reminded me of some Sonic Lost World shit. It reminded me of. Just some bad memories from Sonic Lost World because she's like, oh, I beat the level. Like she didn't even know until like few seconds later. Oh, I beat the level.
That's like the worst sign of a video game when I can't tell.
It's like won. Sonic. Oh, I died. I didn't even realize.
Well, you can't tell you're winning. That should happen in Knights too.
Well, how do you? Yeah, but Knights has better collision detection.
Yeah, but I'm not comparing it to Knights. Don't get it twisted. But I remember fighting the that fish creature. And not knowing if I was winning, if I was beating it, if I was hurting it. So
you got to know when you're hurting. And the boss looked really simple and kind of, but clocked it. What would you rather play? Panzer Dragon remake or Balan Wonder World or whatever?
No, I picked Panzer Dragon remake. It's at least it's an actual somewhat solid game for what it is. I'm sure.
I wish I would have played it more, but
I like how you trying to make that man second guess himself.
I had fucking Stadia for
reviews, man. Oh no.
I just want to say that people this I done this video on Yuji Naka. I was just like, no, he didn't create Sonic. Yeah, he was there.
No, he didn't.
He was a programmer and stuff, but he didn't create Sonic as a designer and stuff. This man.
I heard I'm not co-created nothing.
No, it was two people. He was the programmer who got Sonic up and running, and it was what's his name? Hirokazu.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember his name for some reason. He was a Sonic character designer. So I'm just saying.
They went through a lot to get to land on Sonic's character.
Yeah, they did. They did. Sonic was going to be. What was he going to be, like a rabbit or something first of all?
He's going to be a rabbit, yeah.
And Balan has that like epic like CGI, like almost I wouldn't say Pixar quality.
CGI looks so good.
It has like that crazy good CGI in the beginning, so it's crazy.
That's what Knights was like. When Knights first came out, you had that magical CGI, and they take so much from it. You saw T. They got like the clock tower and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The building, all that shit.
But anyway, let's
it's Knights everywhere.
We better get out of here. But I can't wait to see what 2021 brings, because you know, there's gonna be that Nintendo Direct that's gonna come out here pretty soon and just blow us away, prove us all wrong. And but seriously, there isn't a lot like known for 2020 as in general, so it'd be interesting to see how it all pans out. But see you guys in about a year. Maybe we'll get it out sooner next year with our Game of the Year 2021. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.